stands at 37. There it is on your screen right now. The chips are down today. Let's see what happens. Dessel moved up into 4th spot after his great ride yesterday. Superb as far as they're concerned, but right now there are more, I think, chips out there to play for. Let's see what's going to happen. Whoops, and they're looking back here at this particular stage here, going into Morzine, and that crash which happened there going in towards the finish. We've had, whoops, so many riders falling off left, right and centre. Morzine's been a great place for the finish, some upright, some in the ditch, but undoubtedly looking forward to the this man here, Armstrong, by the way, he won way back in 2002, and so Armstrong knows knew his way over there as well. Matteo won in 2005, Ivan Mayo in 2003, Lance Armstrong in 2002. So there's been a lot of pain and suffering on this particular run-in towards this famous town of Morzine. A number of people have suffered over the years gone by. And it's not only going up, it's coming down as well. How lot you had today, by the way. Wish them all the best of luck. No doubt about it, with Veronk getting that victory here way back in 2000, he's been the darling of the French ever since then. But as I mentioned earlier on, it was Lance Armstrong who took the stage in 2002. He didn't do too well back in 2000, but 2 years later he made amends for it. He just left them all for dead. So, that was way back in 2002. What will happen this year? Join us for action coming up. Now then, on this climb, you join us, by the way, at the critical part of this race. Alongside me then, Graham Jones will update you and we'll talk about what's happened so far. But really, the chips have just come down to see who's going to win the stage today. And on this long climb, it's quite a tough one, by the way. The altitude at the top is 1,691 metres above sea level. It's a 11.68 kilometre climb up towards the top, and they're going to go up at 8.5%. It's what they call an hors category climb in France, HORS category after that. Or it sounds even, I think, more horrendous and bit steep to me. Bit steep, but all category. Come on, Graham, you must have been over it. What do you think about this one?
I have actually been over this, and I've actually seen a breakaway in the Tour a long time ago. But
did you suffer?
I did, yeah. I was away with a guy who didn't really suit my style of riding and was a bit erratic.
You mean he dropped you?
He did, yeah.
Who was that?
Albon. Oh, Robert Albon. Yeah, very erratic sort of rider.
You mean he couldn't follow the wheel?
Yeah, he was just up and down and accelerating, stop. I like to get into my own rhythm, so it wasn't the ideal partner to be with at the time.
He left you.
But I have been up this a few times, yeah. It's a great climb, actually. Obviously, a real traditional, well-known.
And of course, going over into Morzine, I don't think you come the other way very often, if at all.
I've never been up the other way, and I can't remember ever coming up the other, or I can't remember a race going up from the other side out of Morzine. It nearly always is a traditional descent into Morzine and the finish.
Yeah. I think it was Morzine when I actually finished down there and did the Tour de France commentary, and when we went to get in the car, and the car being tipped up and all the petrol ran out or something, we couldn't actually get it started afterwards. God knows what time I got to the hotel after that. But yeah, I remember certain things, up one side and down the other. It's been traditional, up one and down the other. Well, you see on the front here, the riders supporting the yellow jersey of Valverde from the Castepana, looking quite comfortable at the top of it. We've had, some 8 riders away, but I think one of the guys looked a bit of a threat, but sitting up there we had, Trofimov from Bouygues Télécom, who was 10th overall, 2 minutes and 34 seconds, but has he got a chance today to survive?
No, I don't think so. There's been a breakaway of 8 riders. They went away after about 45 kilometres. With Navarro of Astana, Hubert Dupont of AG2R, Vladimir Effinkin of AG2R, Iouri Trofimov of Bouygues Télécom. As you said, he was the best place rider overall in that breakaway. George Hincapie also in this break.
I was surprised when I saw it in there. Yeah.
So Alex Kuczynski of Liquigas, Inigo Cuesta, we know him from the past of CSC, and also Kobo Ethebo of Sonia Deval. Those 8 riders have sort of had a lead of around the 3-minute mark most since that time. But now that they're on the climb, that's come down to about 2 minutes, and Kuczynski has also been dropped from that leading group, so I expect that group to split up.
You could write the script, couldn't you? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm surprised that both George Hincapie, he went to stage 2, didn't he? On that convincing success on that particular day, and I thought by now he sort of gone back into the bunch and saved himself for the Tour de France, but he got stuck in again today, didn't he?
Yeah.
He never says die, does he? But he must know what's going ahead of him. He's a big tall guy. He must know that this is the suffering starts.
Maybe he's had a stage win. Maybe he thinks getting an early breakaway and this sort of thing. If they did give him enough time, maybe he's thought maybe could another stage win on offer. But we can see, just going back, we can see now this front group is starting to split up. There's Navarro, Vastana been dropped now. Yeah, 4 riders now in the lead. Efimkin, Trofimov, Cuesta and Kobo Estebo.
And George has gone, hasn't he?
Looks like it, yeah.
Not surprising, is it? On this tough spot here. Well, these guys are little, knee-high to a grasshopper. They're very little tall guys who've gone out the back like George Hincapie, and this little scraggy guys are starting to put the pressure on. Because when you get to the other top and go down the other side, then they're not very good at descending. So
it is a tricky descent, this one, as well. There's always been incidents on the descent of this climb.
So those of nervous disposition, be careful on the way down. Oh, off he goes out the back. Oh dear, one by one. They really are struggling now, aren't they?
Thomas, our friend Thomas.
Yes, he had a go the other day, didn't he?
Yes.
Well, there we are. Everyone to his own ambitions, by the way. And Thomas Vogler went away. Was it yesterday, wasn't it, when he had a bit of a go? He always had a go, doesn't he? But right now, I think he's beginning to realise it was a waste of time.
Well, just looking at the records of this, I know you alluded to Armstrong and Bottero, previous winners, but this is the 5th time it's been to Morsey in the Dauphiné. And in every occasion, there's the rider, apart from one year, 2001, when it was actually just a prologue, when Didier Rousse won the prologue, the winner into Morzine has always gone on to either finish 2nd or 1st. So I think
in this event rather than the Tour de France, we've been here for
2
big races there, the Dauphiné, yes.
Yeah.
I've served the stamping ground for the Tour de France. It's been many times, hasn't it?
First time in Dauphiné was 1955 when Bobet won the stage and went on to win overall. And of course, we just mentioned Armstrong in 2002. He also went to win overall. And then the last 2 times it's been here, Bottero 2005, he went on to finish 2nd overall behind Landeluz. And 2003, Mayo won the stage and finished 2nd behind Armstrong. So.
Bottero 2005, I think he's riding with this rock racing team, isn't he, in America or something now, Bottero?
Yeah, I keep seeing his name here and there, but...
oh, he's out there with the Americans. In fact, I'd love to get a set of their gear. It's black with Dayglow lemon or something.
Yeah, it's nice gear. Yeah, it's quite trendy, actually.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and get myself a set of that, so make sure I don't get knocked off or something in the motor car. It doesn't all stand out, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like to see sort of... companies coming into cycling that have got a little bit more, I don't know, flair, if you like. We were talking about it yesterday with riders, but also I think it's nice to see teams that sort of trying to do something a little bit different as well.
Well, anyway, Cipollini, of course, he went to ride the short bit. I understand he's riding an event shortly as well. He's coming back to ride something else, 41 years of age. He's coming on the nocturne things or something. Which will
in Germany, I think it was, yeah.
In Germany, we'll find more about that later on, by the way. But certainly... the old dog ain't dead yet by any means. Right, Sandy Cassar, he's always played out a go, isn't he? Never stops, does he?
No, didn't seem to be going too far, but yeah, he's always around.
Yeah.
Thereabouts. Never quite lived up to expectations of a few years ago. I remember talking to him once on the Giro, I think probably early 2003, 2004, and he was sort of seen as a future tour rider, but never quite sort of fulfilled those ambitions or expectations.
But how many have we had of French riders coming up like that over the years?
they keep hoping, they keep trying.
Yeah, but they get so far and stop. Is it they run out of ambition, or the fact they're so well paid they don't want to struggle and suffer anymore?
Well, I think probably it's a bit like us in England sometimes with other sports. We build somebody up and then you realise that maybe they're not quite got it to be the best in the world. Well,
and the race settling down here at the moment. 135 riders start this morning on this stage 5 of the Dauphiné. At the moment, on this climb up towards the top of the Col de Jouplin, the hors category climb, it looks like the Spanish riders, they're beginning to get stuck in here then to control the situation at the moment from the Gas de Pagna with Valverde in that yellow jersey, and one by one they're coming off the back here. including suddenly dropping out the back. Here's Matteo, the Australian champion. He seems to be in all sorts of trouble as well, rider for Sealand's Lotto. So Cadel Evans is beginning to lose some help as well right now, but he seems to sort of go ride his own, doesn't he, Cadel, in these conditions?
He does, yeah, he does seem to be able to look after himself quite comfortably, Cadel.
You're quite right, Sanders goes straight back in the pack, isn't he, now? He waved the flag anyway.
I think Valverde obviously sees an opportunity here, not only just to keep hold of his yellow jersey, but maybe, you know, another stage win could present itself, because if it does come to a sprint out of the climbers, then I don't think there's anybody quite up to his standard.
But coming off the top there, he's not a bad descender either, is he?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, so we shall wait and see. So, situation begin to unfold before your very eyes. Thanks for joining us, by the way. I'm David Duffield, and alongside me Graham Jones, who knows a bit about riding on these roads around here. The softening which is going on right now, and the tactics which are taking place before your very eyes, as those leading riders are beginning to sort of pull back at the main pack, begin to sort themselves out. And in the background there you can see the lovely territory we're going through. The snow is still up there on the top spot. It can be quite chilly when you get up toward the top of these climbs, but the sun is out right now, and thank goodness the rain has not descended at all. What a lovely shot again. This is typical France, isn't it? And the climbs and the going around the hairpin bends and up you go. Look, you're about 18 k's to go, 2 minutes 21 seconds, pulling it back. It's fascinating, isn't it?
It's a great setting.
Yeah.
Just to remind you, you're talking about the snow still on the mountain tops. I think I've had probably two of the coldest days ever in my cycling career were in the Dauphiné. In June, it just goes to show you that when you get to this sort of in the mountains, if it rains, it can be really cold.
Yeah. And if the wind comes down off the mountains as well, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not so much when you're climbing, it's when you descend. You've got wet through and soaking, and then you've got that wind chill factor on the descent, and I've seen plenty of grown men crying on the stages in the Dauphiné before.
There's a big article on of the cycling magazines about the Tour of Spain. The Tour of Italy, when they also got rather cold conditions up there.
Yeah, the famous Hamstein stage.
Yeah, when Hamstein, he went through the snow, didn't he?
Yeah.
And what was that one when Bernardino, was it wasn't that Paris-Roubaix, was it? Was something else when
Liège-Bastogne-Liège, he won by about 8 minutes.
That's right, and only 20 miles finished, wasn't
something
it?
Like that,
the snow came down, and I've seen the pictures of him coming through there, and he was a hard man, wasn't he? From
I rode a Tour of Lombardy a long time ago with only 17 finishes.
No.
Yeah.
Was that cold?
Yeah, snowing and rain. And
back at the other Lombardy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's October.
Everyone's fed up by them, want to go home and get themselves ready for Christmas. And it's very lumpy too, isn't it? The Lombardy.
It's changed a bit now, but it's it used to be,
yeah. So any young lads watching this, by the way, come back from school and switching on and saying, I want to be a pro bike rider, it ain't that easy. You see the glory in the pictures and you see all what's going on, but you get some very, very hard courses and some very, very nasty days as well. And all of us who've ridden bikes over the years have gone through that, when your hands are frozen, your backside's wet, soaking wet, your shoes are absolutely soaked, when you hang on for grim death, and you just wish you could get there and have a shower and go and lie down somewhere. But so there you are. When the days are shining, the sun is out there, and you're having a good run, and you're feeling good, then it's something else, isn't it? Every bike rider gets the day when you float, isn't it, Graham? I don't think you understand. The one day you're suddenly there and you're floating, you're about 2 inches off the ground, and you're pedaling your bike saying, oh, this is great, I'm enjoying this, but it only happens once in a blue moon.
There are some days you just can't explain why you're going so well.
Yeah. We've all been through it, haven't we?
It don't happen often enough, unfortunately.
That's the point, yeah. Well, when you've got nearly 200 rides, they can't all have a good day, can they?
No, we'd have one sprints in the mountains, wouldn't they? So.
Yes, they would, yes. Well, you have to enjoy it, by the way, to a viewer back there. Some young lads switching on and saying, I like being involved in cycle racing. You have to enjoy it. You don't suddenly say, I'll become a professional cyclist just to pass the time of day riding through nice territory. You have to go through days when, oops, he's in trouble. No, another one's gone. That's it. Out the back, hacking it on.
Yeah, he'll take his time now to the finish. Done his job.
When they hammer you, that's it, isn't it, by the way? And the thing is, also for these guys going backwards, it's not too bad today, I don't think, but you've got to stay within the time limit, haven't you? Having a bad day, and you come in, you've got to stay within a certain percentage of the leader.
And also, on the shorter stages, they're the most dangerous, because that time gap.
Oh, shorter, yeah. Hello, Pereira's gone. Well, he's quite a decent bike rider. Why has he gone so suddenly?
I think he's probably just done his work for Valverde at the moment. I think he's done his little bit, and now he'll just take it easy to the finish.
And go back into what they call the bus, isn't it? When
The autobus.
the autobus. Someone's in there with the watch saying, "Okay, chaps, it's going to be, 18% or something. I'll work it out, and this and that." Is that? Yeah. Have you in charge of an autobus?
I've never been in charge. I've been in one or two, yeah. I've never been in charge. I'm usually buying a ticket, not taking the tickets, as they used to say.
There speaks a man with wisdom. So, dear viewer, if you haven't heard about the autobus behind it, it is quite unique gaffing, isn't it? And I've seen them coming up towards, I've been as a commentator watching the rise come over the top, and the countdown, the way Donny Manjas is counting down the time seconds. The autobus comes in, and one or two guys on the big climbs are hanging on for grim death. They're getting very close within 3 or 4 seconds of being out. And I don't know if you, because you wouldn't have been listening to me, you hear the crowd go, "Oh, eh," and they counted the shout down. Some little guy down there can hear this shout going. Oh, it's quite unique, actually, when the people in the audience know what the time cut-off is. Oh dear. Oh, well. It's all right sitting up there watching the poor lads suffer, but my goodness, they're so desperate to finish in the time scuff because they want to start the next day, take another battering, eh? Oh well, that's bike racing. So, well, they're hanging on, aren't they, these three?
Yeah, Fimkin now giving it a little bit of attack.
Can he survive?
It's going to be difficult. Still a long way to go on this line. Yeah. Again, the peloton, not really. There doesn't seem to be, other than the Zuveldia attack, there's not really anybody attacking. It's just all tempo at the moment.
But they let him go there, like we had Dessel and Roland stay away yesterday, or they got more fish to fry, they're not bothered. When's it actually come important to win a stage?
When does it come important to win the stage?
Yeah.
Well, majority of riders want to win the stage.
No, I mean, we've got the lads back there, because we've got that close pack with Valverde 23 seconds ahead of Leipheimer, and Evans back in 37 seconds. When they're going to sort of show their importance, and they're going to knock 7 bells out of each other.
Well, that remains to be seen, whether any of them have really got any ambition to do that, or whether they're just content just to be there at the moment. Or whether Valverde just looks, maybe they could see Valverde very strong and
leave it till tomorrow or Sunday. Oops, here we go. Oh dear. So Ets then, so Silence Lotto. Evans has lost another guy to look after himself. One by one, they're coming backwards now, aren't they? And coming back there,
Brakovic,
yeah, from Astana. So that's shelling out a few rides. So Leipheimer has lost another mate to help him. Here they go, one by one. Vaitkus, the Lithuanian rider, also off the back. Oh dear me, there's one or two of what I call the tall, long-legged lads are having all sorts of trouble right now, aren't they? And we just saw Clement there from the Bouygues Télécom team, had a bit of a burst on the banjo the other day, didn't he? So he's suffering from his enthusiasm a bit earlier on. Just come back in with 47 on his screen right now, so we just begin to lose Podial from Crédit Agricole. I think this lot are going to just hang on in there, aren't they? Looking at this lot.
Yeah, I think a little bit of acceleration in the front of that yellow jersey group, and
that's blown them out.
Seen a few off there.
Yeah, that's got rid of them. Well, that's interesting. We don't see number 1's come back as after this one, but Barredo from the Quick Step team, he's been blown out the back. I think he might get back, by the way. It doesn't look too hard for him at the moment. Oh, well, he's having another go, isn't he? This Gesing?
Yes.
He's looking good, isn't he? He's looking very good, isn't he? Why is he driving so hard?
I'm not quite sure, actually. You would expect him to either try and attack or
sit in the wheels.
Yeah.
He's
2:28 behind Valverde. I would think maybe he's just trying. Maybe he's just trying. He feels strong that he's just trying to get rid of some of the other riders in front.
That's interesting. He's prepared to have a go like that. Sass, he's in trouble. Yeah. That's interesting, isn't it? There's a guy who should be with that bunch, eh?
Should be, really, yeah. Maybe just again looking towards the tour. Maybe he doesn't want to force it too much. Valverde still looking comfortable.
I'm not quite sure, look at him, whether he didn't want to do it, he hadn't got the ability to do it. He looked like he wasn't so...
It's always this difficult to say at this time. You're just not quite sure whether they're still short of where they should be, or whether they're happy where they just don't want to sort of push it too much.
Well, Maxime Montfort from the Cofidis team, hanging on for grim death as well. Up comes the old graphics in front of us, and...
certainly doing a little bit of damage to it.
Isn't he?
Good thing, yeah.
And I can't understand, you quite say, considering his position overall in general classification, why the hell is he knocking 7 bells out the rest of it? He's causing trouble, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Evans is there, Leipheimer's still there. But he's certainly sort of getting rid of the weaker riders.
Oof. That's it, trying to score a few points, so people recognise him in the future. He's going to be somebody you've got to watch out for. I don't know, he's knocking 7 bells out this lot. Dessel, by the way, is coming back here from AG2R, who did that great ride yesterday to win the stage. I think he's being discovered there, number 61 on your screen right now. He won the stage yesterday, enjoyed his moment of glory, but I think he's paying for it right now.
Yeah, he will be. He's paying for his efforts from yesterday.
He's not going to give up the other fight, by the way, but anyway, he's done his job. He got the stage victory yesterday, and he moved himself up into 4th on the general classification. I think he's going to drop back a bit today if he's not careful.
Yeah, that's the Loser.
So here we go then with the peloton fragmented on the run up towards the top of the climb today. And once we get over the top of this one, it's all downhill. Rather shouting, and so I think the damage, once they get over the top, unless somebody's stupid enough to do something daft on the way down, the top dozen or so riders could well be the shape of who gets in towards the finish today. Those who are watching coverage right now, this is the stage 5 running in towards Morzine.
You see Gazink coming back, bringing that group up now. Is just Valverde. Leipheimer's still there. Evans are just coming up to Zubaldia, who'd attacked that group a little bit earlier in the climb.
Oh, they're back in their own sort of trouble, aren't they? So then, this is the 60th Critérium du Dauphiné Libéré with stage 5 under the belts of these riders, or nearly under the belts, by the way. 135 riders started. We've been losing riders one by one, by the way. 125 kilometres in all, 78 miles in English money from Ville-la-Grande into Morzine. And the damage is being done now. They're really hanging on for grim death. They're coming out the back very quickly. And Cioni there by the Cioni, the Italian, born in Reading, as you know, it comes Reading, it comes from Reading. Cioni then, just dropping off there. He's been doing quite a decent ride so far, but it looks like he's having a bit of trouble right now to stay in the pace. Let's see what happens after this. And of course that means at the moment Evans is left more and more on his own up in front, as the leaders here, the 8 riders that started out are now down just 3 then, with Efkim, Trofimov and Kovacevo up there still. The gap's coming down, and the damage was done originally by the man who was actually sitting up there in 10th spot, Trofimov. He went in with that early breakaway group for the Bouygues Télécom, and I think that they recognise the danger. The main pack's coming back towards them, as I think they're going to be so fragmented right now. There could be all sorts of trouble with let's look back down here. It's not far back to the... Here they come. He's still doing the damage, isn't he?
He is, yeah. It's dwindled that group right down.
Absolutely. He's down to 1, 2, 3.
There's just 5 riders there now. I think there's another rider just behind. Not sure whether it's a Team High Road rider just behind.
What damage he's doing, but you say he's not that well placed on GC. Is he just sort of scoring a few points?
Well, he's 8th overall at the moment, just 228 down, but by dragging Valverde like this, he's not going to take the jersey off him. But
he's a long, gangling, thin guy, isn't he? He's not like your average climber.
Definitely looks like a rider for the future, though.
He does, doesn't he?
Be able to show, he was doing well in Paris-Nice earlier in the season, and he's still managing to keep form in the mountains in races like the Dauphiné.
Where's Evans?
Good for the future. He's there at the back.
Oh, he's there at the back. Yeah, sitting in the wheels. Leipheimer, he's following Leipheimer, isn't he? Glued to his back wheel. Determination on his face.
Looks quite calm though, whether he is or not.
You never know with Evans, do you? He sits in the wheels. No, I want to see him have a go one day and knock 7 bells out of people. You'll tell me, yes, he did in such and such a race, but he always seemed to be a bloke who follows the wheels, and everybody else gets blown back, and he ends up being up the front somehow. So just about 3 Ks to go towards the top there, and a run down on who's in that group. They're picking up one by one the leaders in that 8-man breakaway group that didn't get much more than about, 3 minutes lead on the main pack, because they knew that they had more fish to fry. And this is it, right before your very eyes. The Col du Jouplan, and jolly good climb it is too, 11.6 kilometres long, and a climb at 8.5% the worst bit, 989 metres of actual climbing. Drifting back and coming off one by one, the riders are in all sorts of trouble. Yep. So Rogers, well, he's had an up and down race so far, so doesn't look too good at the moment. There they go. Are they prepared to, let's keep going, lads, or should we just give it up and say it's a bad job to stay out here? I mean, he's encouraging them, isn't he? You don't normally get this conversation going, do you, like these three at the moment?
No, I think Cobworth's able to think, hang on, guys, come on, give me a bit of a hand here, but on the mountains or on a climb like this, it's not always that easy.
That speaks a man with experience. Save your breath for something else, isn't it? Yeah. Perhaps it's just a chance to get the top and go for a stage victory. Perhaps that's what he's hoping for. They can actually hang on for grim death. Up we go past the neutral service car, the Mavic car there, the red car, the commissaire.
That's a couple of the 8 riders there just been caught by the chasing group who were in the earlier breakaway.
He's still sitting on the wheels, isn't he, Evans? I mean, does anybody else sort of want to shout him from time to time? Because if I say he's a wheel sucker, perhaps he'll have a rude word to say to me when he next meets me. It could be an Australian, but in my day, anybody who sat in the wheels like this all the time, you just called him wheel sucker, and that was it. But he doesn't seem to come up front much so he can do some damage, does he? This lad's doing the damage at the front at the moment, isn't he, Casing? Oops! Oh, Valverde's going to get knocked 7 bells. Oh, that's it. Come on, that's really thrown down the gauntlet, hasn't it? Well, would you expect that?
I didn't expect that, actually.
No.
And maybe he's looked at the other people there and sort of, I mean, Gesing's done all the damage there. He's not, Valverde's not needed any teammates really, other than on the early parts of the climb, but not really sort of managed to get any distance. The only thing he's got there, Leipheimer's gone back.
Gone the back door, hasn't he?
Yeah, which is a surprise. I thought we might have seen Leipheimer be the main one to challenge Valverde.
Well, I'll be blowed.
To Sylvester Schmid of Lamprey.
Yeah, interesting. Lamprey, yeah, they've lost a couple of riders. Don't know if you caught up with it earlier on.
I did, yeah. They lost 2, didn't they? And then they also, I noticed they had another couple of riders that were also dropped. So I don't know whether they're already down.
But 2 riders have actually retired. They've packed it on their head. They've gone home and said goodbye. That's enough.
Bindi and Lorenzetto, yeah.
Yeah, they did. So that's it. So he's left on his own. This guy, isn't he?
Yeah, and he already started with a short team of one with only 7 riders, so they're probably down to about 3 or 4 riders now.
I suppose after the Tour of Italy, they haven't put obviously the strongest riders in anyway. But they said, well, we'll swan along here, and we'll keep a few guys for the Tour de France, and so he's a man for himself, isn't it?
That is the thing with the Pro Tour events. You have to send your team have to send riders to these races, and sometimes if you haven't got riders that are going well or not, you have to send what you can sometimes.
And they don't go all the way, do they?
No.
But in this case, he's probably surprised other people, the young lads. But isn't that so sometimes? Because, Evans is taken over now, rabbiting on here about the tactics of it. Sometimes team orders, you can't do this, you can't do that. But suddenly this guy here from Lamprey, he's got a chance because, so what, you've just gone for the day and this, that, and off you go. The other guys are retired from the race, some aren't going well. So here's an opportunity now to show his true courage. Is that right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And he's doing well. Very nice to see, by the way. And it's nice to see that Gesing, this fellow from Lamprey, beginning to come up against the well-known heads and what have you. That's a very interesting formation, isn't it? Legs 11 himself. His legs have gone at the moment.
Yeah, he's just, I think he's not panicked, he's just sort of keeping at his own pace.
He always does that,
He's never really been one to sort of like follow the accelerations of the others. And
I watched that, he just keeps going, doesn't he? And eventually comes back.
Gets into his own rhythm.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. You know, if you try to follow these attacks, then you end up just blowing up and losing more time.
Well, we'll see if he gets back, and Evans is doing the damage, of course, right now. Evans, we'll see. Let's see if I can give Mr. Leipheimer a bit of a clip round the ear, because going into the stage this morning, Leipheimer was 23 seconds back on general classification. Evans 37 seconds, and so he has an opportunity of pulling back those 14 seconds if he can do it. It isn't worth doing the damage just today, is it? Just go and get a few seconds back, or is he just proving a point?
I think he's probably just proving a point.
Yeah. Oh dear, here we go. He's off his day as well, hasn't he?
Efimkin, yeah, being dropped by the other two. Looks like he's had a fall as well, Efimkin there.
Well, the whole of France will be cheering. What happens here for...
Yeah, Kobo Athebo is
Telecom,
just... Trofimov is having a little bit of trouble hanging on to Kobo Athebo at the moment.
Sadly, but the French will hope he gets back, but some I don't think so. Oh, he's coming, he's trying to get back, isn't he? Yes, riding his own pace.
Cadel Evans-led group there with Valverde now just 42 seconds behind the leader.
The big thing about this climb, of course, is, you know well, you can actually see what's going on in front of you,
yeah,
can't
it's a long last kilometre. Well, it is on most mountains, it's a long last kilometre. This one does seem to go on forever.
Yeah, and you can look across the valley, what's up there, can't you? There's not no trees anywhere to hide, and you can look up there and see what's going on.
Sometimes better not seeing what's going on in front now.
What do you mean, in case they're going away? If you're struggling.
I don't think Leipheimer's going to come back there.
He's looking bad, isn't he? And Evans, because I say he's just got those few seconds, what, 14 seconds. I wouldn't have thought he'd go for it today, but if he got a chance to do that, go to the top and move to the second spot overall, and also probably show Mr. Valverde, I ain't dead yet. He's 23 seconds down Valverde this morning, man.
There's going to be a real shake around on the overall today. Just looking at some of those names in the top 10 who are not there, so
good day.
Good day for Gusing.
And also, by the way, those who are watching our programme live today or picking up on British Sport later on this evening, do bear in mind we're back on air again on Saturday and Sunday when the chips will be absolutely down. Just check your timescales, by the way, when we're going to be back on air, because I think we're in for an interesting session in this race. It ain't over yet by any means. I mean, this is developing into a fascinating race, and Evans is, I don't think I've seen Evans looking so determined to knock 7 bells out of people. Come on, you and I have watched it for years.
He's certainly trying there, and the one thing just looking at that Sylvester Smith looks actually really comfortable.
He does.
He looks really like a good climber. Very sort of steady.
Evans had what? Some problem with his knee or tendonitis or something. I mean, you'd have thought perhaps he'd a soft tap, but he's getting stuck in, isn't he?
Yeah. Maybe he's testing himself. Maybe he has lost a little bit. Could have lost a little bit of his preparation with that knee injury, and he's just making sure he's on target, just testing himself.
Was he frightening a few people? Look at the determination on him. You and I have watched him for years, both live and on screen, and met the guy and seen him, but he looks much more determined. I've seen him for an awful long time now.
Yeah. No, he's looking strong.
The lunatics are out again. Leap up and down on top of the camper. By the way, if you're thinking about the Tour de France debut, I know some of you say, well, I'd like to go and see this thing. Make your plans well in advance. Be better if you're going with a camper van to get there early on the climbs, at least 1 or 2 days ahead, because the lunatics and the followers of this sport for many years gone by are out there in enormous numbers, because it's not attract a lot of people, like 500,000 on the Alpe d'Huez where we're going this year, aren't we?
Yeah, you get a lot less people out on the climbs for this event.
Yeah, but I tell you, once you get the Tour de France, it all changes, doesn't it? But you're going to see some exciting racing yet again this year on the Tour de France. 13 k's to go then, and most of it downhill.
Gap 40 seconds as well, so there's a good chance that he may go all the way to the finish.
I remember this part of the world, yeah. Which is very familiar territory, isn't it, for those who've always been travelling on the Tour de France, and particularly on this event here, which goes over it quite often, and at least not so many people out on the side of the roads, which means as we're going towards the finish, 12 k's to go. The question is, can leaders stay away. What about going to happen with these chasers? And what will happen to Leipheimer, who's struggling at the moment? Well, right now, our survivors from that 8-man breakaway group still hanging on for grim death right now. They're down to just 2 here, Trofimov and Kobo Atielo of Solid Duval, and but they're being chased down very strongly here by a group that's being held, led by the man out the front at the moment, who I think is trying to score a few points here. Cleveland is driving hard, and the damage is being done up in front then, because the rider from the Solo Duval team has just gone off and said, I'm going backwards, not forwards. And as far as the French are concerned here, what another great raid will be if one of their teammates get it, but he comes all the way from Russia. Trofimov is trying to do the damage as well, but I think they're having their own private battle here to try and get over the top, get the stage victory coming down the other side. The question is, when they go down the other side, will they be able to hang on for grim death? And what about this then? The Lamprey rides got stuck in.
Yeah, I thought this is a tricky bit on this climb, because you go over the summit and you actually might think it's all over, but it does go down for a couple of kilometres, and then there's this nasty little kick up for about another kilometre that really, and that's where the Trofimov has left Kobayatseva, and likewise Schmidt has just done the same and attacked the yellow jersey group.
So knowing what it's all about is one thing, but presumably you can't actually practice this, can you, for the Dauphiné? Presumably the team managers must know it, like you've been and written over this. Would the team say, this is what you have to do, that, you know, it gives them something over the earpiece, some instructions?
Yeah, they will know, they will have gone through that, and sort of they will know the fact that although you go over the summit, that it's not actually the top, you know, there's still a little, it's not all downhill till the finish.
Oh, Evans, it looks very controlled at the moment. He doesn't seem to be too bothered. So provided he gets rid of Leipheimer, I suppose he'd be happy with that, won't he? And stay with Valverde.
I think he'd be happy with maybe he's coming into the condition. So it's a good attack by Schmidt,
isn't it? Whoops!
Trofimov almost did a decel then.
Yes, yeah. Is that because the brakes, you start and then you just tighten them too, so then they lock on?
Yeah, I think sometimes they do grab like that.
Yeah.
At least it's dry. I've done this descent in the wet, and believe me, it's not fun.
Pick yourself out of the ditch, by the looks of it. Whoops, some more coming down. I mean, down in more ways than one, but there you go. Obviously, he's still in there. He did damage, didn't he? Because being a very tall, gangly guy, I suppose he's got the weight to take him down. Depends how, whether they're prepared to take the risk. Because some can and some can't, on the descents. Oh, here we are, Leipheimer's a bit back.
Rogers, Cioni.
Yeah. Well, Cioni just sits in the wheels, won't he?
Yeah. It looks like Trofimov's maybe going towards the victory here.
Whoop, come on, Dario. Well, he's a big guy, I suppose the weight takes him out a bit. Hang on to your hats. Here we go. They're about the same, aren't they, while they're descending here? Not much difference between them, is there? No, he's going around like on threatening bits. He's off. He's away. I think he's going a bit too quick. I don't know what you think. I would be a bit scared about this.
No, I think he's fine.
Do you think so? I think he's good.
Famous last words.
Okay, bon courage, mon ami. Whoops! Jeez. God.
Always looks worse on the cameras than the.
It does, doesn't it? Yes, you're quite right, but yeah. No, it looks good.
It's a pretty good surface. Parts of it have been resurfaced over the years.
I mean, look at the way he's having his bike too. He seems to rock with the bike properly, doesn't he? He's not sort of giving himself a 6s and 7s, is he? The way he rides his bike around. This is how he goes now. In, right leg up, left leg down, change over, left leg. Whoops! Oh, he's a bit of pedalling. Goes. So any little lad watching this on Friday afternoon, come back from school early. See how they go. Right leg up, left leg down. Here we go. Bit of pedal, left leg down. Whoops! Make sure you don't. Cause if you go down with the pedal in the wrong place, you catch it. Bang! Off you go.
Although Kobayatseva has not managed to stay with Trofimov, he has taken over. He will take over the King of the Mountains jersey today. So
will he?
He's been winning most of the other climbs today.
So he's happy with that, isn't he?
And obviously picked up second place on this little category.
Of course, they've got the big gear in now, and they have to pedal it down here, and on the big chain ring and the a small sprocket at the back.
Looks like the Valverde group's actually
closing down, you think?
picked Efimkin up.
Yeah, it looks like it. So 2:34 today, 10. Oh, he could be moving up to GC then, couldn't he? So he's got something to show for today's effort, apart from getting the stage victory. It looks, provided he stays upright, looks possible. I don't know. He hasn't got too many things wrong, so hasn't he? 5k's to go, mostly downhill. A number of times I've commented on this descent of Tour de France and so on. It's quite fascinating to relive the whole thing. 35 seconds coming at him.
Should be okay.
Should be. Of course, the other thing is they've got to get rid of, you know, the team cars. They've got the Commissaire's car, the yellow jersey, the yellow car Mavic for the spares, so there's nobody else between them at the moment. And Evans is having a go at the front, isn't it again? It's Evans. They're closing the gap. I think they're closing him. I've got a suspicion right now, Graham, they might be catching him. But when you come down, there's not much bit from the bottom, it's towards the finish.
No, it's very short.
Yeah.
Very short run into the finish. Traditional finish that we've seen Riblon win there a couple of times.
We have, haven't we? Yes, yeah.
I was amazed at that in the Tour de France when we finish in Morzine, that where they get all the technical zone into the sort of such a small area.
That big down there, yeah. Don't remind me, because that time when the car, we had this special car, where we tried to, myself and Sean Kelly tried to start after that, the petrol had run down, or the diesel or something, and it wouldn't restart. And the troubles that we had thereafter, we had to abandon the car, take all our clothing out. About 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody came with a vehicle to rescue. I sent Sean ahead and somebody else's car to go and get himself to the room at the hotel. And I think I got to bed at 3 o'clock that morning with all my luggage, carrying on somebody found me a car to get there, and then later on they had to get the car back 2 days later. Yes, I have rather interesting memories of Morzine, believe you me. Right then, so those are trials and tribulations. You think, oh, I'd love to be a commentator, but believe me, it ain't that easy, is it, Graham? And you've been out there so many times. How many times with BBC?
God, I have to break that down. I've done 23 tours altogether. Some as a rider, some with the press, and some with the radio. So
yeah,
I think it's probably since '95, so whatever that is, 13 with the radio.
When things go wrong, you're in all sorts of trouble, aren't you? I remember standing there, and off went Sean, and I'm waiting for this vehicle to come and pick me up and sort things out later on. Everybody went, and that area, you say, there's massive vehicles there, isn't there, suddenly? And I'm standing there, getting dark and later and later. And I found a little place just down the road to get something to eat and walk back again, and bit by bit there's only me left and this car and about 3 or 4 other vehicles. Oh dear, David, how are you going to get to the start tomorrow? We did it. Oh, nice service, though. That's good. No problem. He's done well, hasn't he, all the way down? This is a kiss of death, I say. You fall off.
I think the motorbike overshot that one.
That's what I was getting
a bit
worried there as well. I was getting a bit worried about that one. Oof. Oh, don't go past it. Whatever you're trying to do with the motorbike, surely.
Yeah, he's trying to get back up to the Valverde group.
Right. That's dangerous, because you can't get a motorbike down as fast around the corners, can he, as a guy on his race bike?
They can in the straights. It's sometimes race just around the bends. They are getting quite close. That's that bend that we've just seen. Yeah, so it could be less than 20 seconds, I think now.
But there's not much flat down here after this. It just looks like they're going to get it all done and dusted, surely. But the question, what's happened here to Leipheimer? To me, the interesting thing is that Evans did the damage on the climb. Perhaps he saw a weakness in Leipheimer, having started this morning some 14 seconds down on him. So, and there's no sign of Leipheimer coming back, is there?
No, I think Leipheimer's got too much to do.
45 seconds of the gap coming out now, but we thought it was 23, but that's coming over our headphones. There's 1k to go, so here we go. Don't worry, don't look back. That's the worst thing any bike rider can do, isn't it, I suppose, at the moment. So the Russian rider here from Bouygues Télécom, Trofimov, is looks like he's on his way. There you are, 2 minutes 34 seconds down in 10th. He'll move a bit over the GC, won't he? Get up?
Yeah, he'll probably move into top 5, I think.
Yeah. That can't be 45 seconds, the information we get with headphones there, can it?
No, I think it was about 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I think swimming with a Cabo Acebo still in between Trofimov and
Doesn't he
Valverde.
go slightly a bit here?
Very slightly.
Yeah, but it won't hurt him, will it?
No.
And then over the right-hand side, down into the dip and down there, and that the press office, all there, where all the vehicles. So it's familiar territory for some of us, but as far as he's concerned, it's going to be something he'll remember for an awful long time at the moment, the way in which he's going to come in here, having gone away with that 8-man group quite early in the race, and one by one they got shot out the back, and remember Brom coming in here to win some years gone by as well, and right now this rider here from Russia, riding for Bouygues Telecom. The French again must be very pleased indeed. They had a victory yesterday with the Dessel from the AG2R, and now they've got a victory here from Bouygues Telecom in the form of Trofimov, and they're all sprinting in rather quickly in towards the finish. So one by one, the effort's still being put in here by Evans. Look at this against Valverde. He's not going to give up. He's gone. Whoa, that showed, didn't it, from Evans? He really went today. He went for that. He went for that.
Yeah. Evans second on the stage and Valverde third on the stage, and they really showed you the strength there by just moving away from those other riders. So yeah, he did look very content with that.
So here comes Leipheimer, by the way. He's lost a chunk of time right now. He's dropped out from second spot behind Evans, and that I think has said, okay mate, I'm now going to come back and give you something to think about. And he's still riding hard here, but no doubt about it, as Sastre, also from the Sastre team, is sitting on the wheel, not doing very much, and then Cioni then from the Silence Lotto team would be happy with the performance of Evans, who came there to move up into second spot overall on general classification. Wait for confirmation of that. Nice ride, by the way, by Cioni. A big, tall, gangling rider by not exactly his territory, which you expected. He's been around a long time now. He seems to have got a lot more freedom now with the Silence Lotto team he's had from few years gone by. He's looking good right now, but he's quite happy to trail in then behind Leipheimer, who's dropped out of the frame a bit further back on the general classification. But there's a long way to go, by the way. We've got Saturday and Sunday, and we've got some lumpy stuff yet to come. Look at those climbs in the background. There's more yet to come, because today was the first of the big climbs, but some even bigger ones are yet to come then. Dribs and drabs of riders coming. Very short, sharp stage, by the way. Those who are watching us live, or those watching us later on, we only had 78 miles of racing, 125 kilometres in all on this stage 5 of the Critérium du Dauphiné into Morzine.
Yeah, it's a great win, and just looking at you say there's a short stage today. The 2 stages we've had yesterday and today have really been about a climb right near the end, just the one climb, whereas tomorrow it really is the big stuff with the Col de la Coiffure followed by La Toussuire at the finish and the mountain top finish. So that also 233 kilometres tomorrow, so that's going to be a long day in the saddle tomorrow.
Today was just a pipe open, wasn't it?
Yeah, it may well be a little bit different for Valverde tomorrow, actually, with a mountain top finish. You never know.
Right, and do you think that Mr. Evans is trying to score a point here to say, look, watch out, mate?
I think Cadell will be very happy with what he's done today. He's sort of looks strong, steady, and whether he attacks or not tomorrow, we'll have to wait and see. But it certainly looks like it might now be just between Valverde and Evans as to who takes this Dauphiné.
So, more coming up tomorrow, and we're waiting to see what we're going to get on the screen for you in just a moment then of today's stage 5 on this, the 60th Dauphiné. And just look ahead again for those who wanting to know what's going on. We'll be live, by the way, at 15:30, those who watching the Eurosport's coverage internationally, and for those who watching in Great Britain, pick up the international pictures, it'll be 2:30, 2:30 tomorrow. But those who are watching British Eurosport tomorrow will be back between 8 o'clock and 8:30 in the evening, so only half an hour tomorrow. We'll see. Well, I've tried to put some rather sort of dramatic music in there for you, because going really tough stuff today, but we're looking back what happened yesterday before we go on to today's stage, which is the longest stage of the race. And we're going to be covering today some tremendous climbs, by the way, and we're going to have a look at what happened yesterday. Well, the breakaway group started then by this fellow Hubert Dupont for 82R at the bottom of the Col de Saxel, and after 45 kilometres rejoined then by George Hincapi, Kushnim, Navarro, Kobo, Cuesta, Bouygues, Télécom and FK. And off they went, and they started to really begin to struggle on the climbs which are yet to come. And really the main pack was still some 2 minutes and 15 seconds behind as the riders begin to form. And there we see Evans coming through right now, and he was now closing the gap some 43 seconds down, and only 5 riders were with him at that particular time. There was Valverde, Sylvester Schmidt from Lampley and Zibelda from Esquetel, and still the Russian rider here caught it, the leading rider, went straight past him and over the top then, and on the way down, this young rider here, Trofimov, which we can talk about more later on the programme, by the way, used his descending ability as a mountain biker to come down like a dose of salts to take the victory. What a great day for the Russian and for his team. Well, behind, battle going on then for the other places, and Evans it was that threw the gauntlet down, and he was towing Valverde with him in toward the finish, and he's scoring a few psychological points to cross the line in second spot. So that was the position at the end of the stage of the overall classification. Valverde ahead of Evans by 37 seconds. Leipam had a bad day in the office. He's dropped now back 1 minute and 29 seconds. This is the easy bit going down. We've been some lumpy stuff so far. I've got Graham Jones alongside me here, Graham. We're watching what's happening so far. We've had quite a fair number of activity earlier on, but we'll up that in just a minute. But this hill down a bit, we can see the riders here doing the chasing right now at the moment, looking after the yellow jersey. Do you think if we get towards the group now, 151 back on our leaders, any chance of catching them before we start the big climb, the final climb of the day?
Well, we may not see them catch them by before the start of the last climb up to Sweer, but I certainly think they probably will be catching them before the finish. It's been a very fast day, just sort of right from the start. The riders were sort of really on the attack, considering it's such a long stage, 233 kilometres. But they actually did 47.5 kilometres in the first hour, which is something you'd expect in a one-day classic, but not in a mountain stage in the Dauphiné. But we've had a group of some sort of big group of riders break away early on in the stage after about 50 kilometres. 20 riders in that. Actually, Walle was in it as well earlier on, but seems to have disappeared when we got on the lower slopes of the quad fair. But we've still got, I think we've got 14 riders in the lead now.
Yo-yos, doesn't it? It took information, aren't we? Because some of this lad Olros seems to have dropped back. Has he dropped back? We don't know, because the lads there from the Esquetel team, with Astalota trying to close the gap. We're not quite sure how many it is, but I don't think we've bothered too many about the numbers, but we'll see.
No, the last day we had 12 riders in front. It was Roland Halgan of Crédit Agricole, Efimkin of 82R, he's been active throughout the whole of this week. Goubert, also of 82R, Rubiera of Caisse d'Apagne, Chris Sorensen of CSC, De Gregorio of Francis de Jeu, Moinard and Moncoutier of Cofidis, another Caisse d'Apagne rider, Lopez Garcia, Fletcher of Rabobank, and Van der Waal of Kickstep. Oros was within that group, but Astalota actually attacked the peloton in pursuit. The peloton were actually 4 minutes down. Astalota actually attacked on the quad fair and was almost closed the gap on his own, but Oros, who was in that original breakaway, has actually dropped back for Astalota, and I actually think that they were 20 seconds last time I heard from that leading group, so it was a great ride by Astalota.
Yo-yo day.
Yeah, well, it's it's great teamwork from Oros as well to have sort of gone back, but it's a great ride by Astalota to have closed that gap, and I'm assuming when we see the pictures of the breakaway that he is actually with this leading group now.
Interesting too that how Esquetel team are riding on general classification this morning. Astalota was 8th overall on GC at 3 minutes 15 seconds down, and his teammate then, Zibelda, was just behind him at 3:17, 2 seconds behind him. So they're looking rather well, the Esquetel team, aren't they? I mean, normally only see them in the lumpy stuff, and they're coming on good now. Have they got a chance then of moving further up at the moment? Because you look at what's ahead of them, they seem sort of specialist climbers, don't they, the Spanish lads?
Yeah, I think they've got a chance. I think they've got a chance of actually moving up maybe a few places, but I think it's going to be difficult to challenge Valverde and Evans as we're actually taking the overall lead.
So we might see us shuffling the pack for the lower places then?
Yeah, then probably. Peloton is now, the Caisse d'Apagne led yellow jersey peloton now is 2 minutes behind those leading riders.
Now then, Dear viewers, Saturday afternoon, just switching the channels, found what those riders are doing. Behind there, he's not sort of waving goodbye or something. What he's signalling about the obstructions they're coming across. Half the trouble that they're coming down here at something like about 30 odd, nearly 40 miles an hour, I suppose. And imagine bouncing over the problems there. Over we go, over another one, and so they're signalling there because you can easily lose control of your bike. At one hand off the bike, suddenly you go over one of those speed bumps, and I know it's equally bad in a motor car, but imagine a bike with highly propped up tyres. It's coming down a great rise. Could be dangerous. Well, we're going to have a short break. Keep your fingers crossed for the lads now. Welcome back then to our coverage of this stage on Saturday, the 6th stage of the Critérium du Dauphiné Libéré. If you just switched on and caught up with cycling for the first time, this is the 60th running of this race, by the way. It just shows you how long some of these bike races have been going in France, and certainly it's got a tremendous following with lots of chaps taking part in it. Who'll be riding in the Tour de France, which will be on our screens in about just over 2 weeks' time from now. So going from Morzine to La Toussière, and 233 kilometres. That's a sniff under, by the way, of 150 rather hilly miles, to put it mildly. We've been over the worst climb of the day because La Col de la Croix de Fer, on the up category climbs, they were climbing up that one, and the actual climb was some 30 kilometres long to go up the climb, and the height went up to 1,547 metres, and the actual average grade was 5.1%. Not that steep, but long drag. And once they come down the other side, we're then going to catch this last climb of the day of La Toussière, and this one will be going up to an altitude when they get up there. And the Croix de la Croix de Fer was over 2,000 metres above sea level. This one will be something like 1,700 metres above sea level. And it's 17.5 kilometres of climbing on the final climb of the day, and they're going to have to ride up another 1,135 metres. You add those two together, the Croix de la Croix de Fer and La Toussière, it's going to be a very much a painful day. And as far as my friends from Cycle Sport are concerned, in their printout they said that this is going to be the day when the race will be won and lost. We shall see. Would you agree with them?
I think so, yeah. I think this is the day when we'll find out who's going to win the Dauphiné. Tomorrow's a toughish stage, but it's not too long, and although there are 3 cols, they're not the hardest cols in the world.
The Col de Granier, for instance.
They're not that hard now. Not compared to this. I think it'll be all over after today.
The Col de Coucheron and the Col de la Porte. Okay, so just 3 rather pains in the backside, I suppose, is the answer. So this is it then. You're going to watch. We hope you'll stay with us on Eurosport. We might be dodging in and out, by the way, because in another part of France, the Le Mans, you know, is going on, and my good friend Carlton Kirby is there with the crew, updating what's happening out there. Carlton, of course, you listening to the Le Mans can understand that voice. Hear him. He's doing some cycling work as well with us now. In fact, I let him have one of my Carlton frames, because his name is Carlton Kirby, and he's building himself up a Carlton bicycle at some point in time. So he's doing the Le Mans, and good luck to him out there as well. And those who are hooking on here, I hope you stay with us, you chaps involved with motor racing, by the way, to watch the bicycle bits, because of course long before motor cars were invented, people went around on bicycles. Before, of course, they went around on horses and carts. But so tradition is before your eyes. This is the 60th Critérium du Dauphiné Libéré, and I think the legs are beginning to hurt.
Yeah, we're on this little bit of flat in between the 2 mountains now, so everybody's taking the opportunity to top up on their water bottles and any last minute bit of food that they might need before the final ascent.
Drifting back with a bit of encouragement, I think, from their team manager to keep it going. Or, I mean, what, of course, in the old days, it then start handing it with spare tubulars and bicycle pumps, didn't they? Whoops. To say, well, okay, look after yourself right now. But I suppose this is the day when you might be finding a few people going into the back and saying enough is enough today. And I think we've lost at least 1 rider so far in today's stage. It has been sort of thinning down as the race has been going on bit by bit, and I'm not quite sure how many we've got left right now, but going into today's stage we had
129 started the stage today.
Yes, and so because interesting enough, because there's no Lampreys. We look down the list of teams taking part, and the Lampreys have disappeared. They haven't even got 3 riders left to constitute the team. 129 finished yesterday. The 5 Lamprey riders yesterday did not finish.
5 of them are.
5.
Good job there's no Team Time Trial.
One thing interesting here, is that this rider Schmidt from Poland, elaborated. He's 5th overall general classification. He's got to do it all on his own now.
He has, yeah. Well, he probably he's established himself in that position now. He'd just be there to follow the Valverdes and the Evanses. But it is a bit unfortunate because there are times when you might puncture and you do need a bit of team help. But he's going to have to look after himself.
Every man for himself today, and here we go then, back towards the way that these Escatel riders, they're bombing along now, aren't they? He's got up there, and his mate now is starting to tow him along.
Yeah, well, Oros, as I say, did drop back for Astolozzi. He's brought him back up to that leading group, and now he's actually doing everything he can along the flat to put his rider Astolozzi in a very good position, if not for challenge overall, maybe to go on and try and take the stage.
Astolozzi there, number 33 on his back, if you look at the numbers, and 36 is Oros, and these are the rest of the remnants of that little group that have got away off the front. Now then, anybody else going to help them? Who's going to get involved and have a go? Because some of the, like the riders here, we just saw the orange colours from Rabobank. I mean, they've got some invested interest in the overall classification, I suppose. So why do you start to go hard here? Because Gessing is back in 5th spot at 2 minutes and 36 seconds. So is there going to be a point when chaps who've got teammates back there that the team will say, that's it, back off?
Fletcher won't be doing anything now because he'll be aware that the rear behind at the front of the peloton that the Rabobanks are working with the Kistar-Pan, so they're not going to work against each other. I mean, it does happen occasionally, but he'll be sat in the wheels now. They'll be leaving a lot of it to the Euskaltel guys now.
You mean some teams have friendship with other teams and some teams fall out amongst each other?
Probably, yeah.
God! Now, we won't cause a stir here, but these things do happen. I've seen the non-game for a couple of team managers. Okay, just let's get stuck in another site. Take a funny run, mate. Right, it's all about tactics as well, believe you me. I know riding a bike is not an easy thing to do when you've got big lumpy bits like this, but a lot of things going on behind them. Because the whole thing, of course, is in the shelter, isn't it, Graham? You get a bit of shelter, therefore you can look after riders and assist them before you go up to climb. Yeah,
one of the things you don't realise about this part of the world is although the main, everybody thinks about the climbs, it can actually be very windy along the valley roads, so you do need to be able to sit in the wheels, and you need some team help if, wherever possible.
And they're going like eyeballs out now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going flat out. Nobody's getting an easy ride at the moment with the Euskaltel guy on the front.
But they've got the wind is coming out into the right-hand shoulder, so nobody's putting the speed up, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's giving it everything.
Look at the wind now.
Yeah, he's going to give it everything to the bottom of the climb and then say thank you. Done and dusted, get on with it.
Oof, one by one, look, there's not much left here out of the 129 starters, are there?
No, I'd say 30 riders, maybe 30 plus.
About 40, yeah. It's fragmenting, I think, is a nice word, as the water come tumbling down here. Beautiful part of the world again. There's some nice views. You feel back at home then of this part of France. Perhaps you don't often go on holiday around there, but it's quite pleasant.
We've just got to just saying that although it's sunny and reasonably warm in the valleys, actually at altitude it is quite cold. The temperature at the top of the Croix de Fer is down to 4 degrees centigrade. So.
The other thing is that even though the sun comes out, because of the height of the mountains or the walls alongside here, the rocks and so on, it doesn't get much sunshine into where you are.
Yeah, it takes a while to warm up.
Yeah. Men at work.
Life armor still there?
We had a better day in the office yesterday, didn't he? He got third in general classification now, 129. What's his plot now? Because just to hang on, I suppose his third spot, because I can't see him catching those two in front unless they have a bad day and go through out the back door. We shall see though. A lot more coming up after this break. Stay with us on Eurosport. The riders in that breakaway group have started to fragment as we're going on this final climb of the day. We're about to climb up to the finish at Le Toursier. It's a 17.5 kilometre climb, and the breakaway group has been fragmenting. The chasing come on from left, right and centre. Stage 6 then of the Critérium du Dauphiné, the 60th running of the race. Before we get into the bits where they start spitting nails, because the lads are going to go through an awful packet right now. If you're interested in cycling, you've switched on for the first time. I'm David Duffield, been working here for Eurosport for 20 years now, so getting near my retirement day, I suppose. Who said cheers at the background? But alongside me, Graham Jones, 20th in Tour de France some years ago. Great rider taking the Grand Prix de France and the Grand Prix Nationals in amateur, and second in Hetfog. Knows nothing about bike racing, and also not about racing out here, Graham, but I think you're deeply involved with the Tour of Britain. What's going on out there before we go?
Yeah, I've been involved with that now since the new sort of resurrected race in 2004 and its new format. So enjoying that. It's hard work. You know, it's not the easiest place to put on a bike race in Britain, with its heavily congested roads and sort of public and general awareness of cycle sport. It's just not the same as it is in the Joseph
How does somebody with a computer or something, if they're not interested in buying copies of Cycling Weekly or other magazines, which I hope they do anyway, it's got a sort of website or something?
Oh, we do have a website, yeah.
Go on, tell us.
Tourofbritain.co.uk, www.tourofbritain.co.uk.
Is that small t, small something of Britain?
I think it's all one word, yeah.
Oh, okay. Tour of Britain.
I hope it is anyway.
Well, you run it, you don't.
I don't have to get involved in that part of it too much. I'm more on the technical aspects of the race,
I think you start down in London and go alongside the Thames.
We do. We've got a great, obviously a spectacular start to the race this year, an 8.5-kilometre circuit.
What's the date?
It's the 7th through the 14th of September.
Right.
Starting on the Sunday in London, centre of London, start-finish on the embankment, taking in Houses of Parliament, Whitehall, back along the embankment, all the way along the embankment.
Gordon Brown will come and wave you off with the flag.
He might do, yeah. We can go past his front door, so down to the Tower of London and do a U-turn back down all the way down the embankment, finish on the embankment opposite the Eye. So fantastic sort of location. And
but no, you'd finish something like that. You're actually starting.
Yeah, well, from this year. We've actually, because of the way the race is contracted, we're finishing in Liverpool this year, capital of culture, so the last day will be into Liverpool, but we're starting in London, but from next year onwards it will be finishing in London, and this new circuit is going to become the sort of new iconic sort of Champs-Élysées type effect for a Tour of Britain, a permanent 8.5-kilometre circuit. Traditionally we've always had this sort of 1.5, 2-kilometre circuit around Whitehall, and this time we've actually got a proper circuit where all the cars will be able to go on everything, so it'll be pretty spectacular event as long as the weather's good.
Well, you know, CSC, I think they said had enough today. How they go one by one. This is where they're sort of saying goodbye to the race. So the big stuff's happening going front. We're going back to the Tour of Britain from time to time, but those of you watching the pictures coming here whilst Graham and I are rabbiting on, you can see what these lads have been through all these days so far. This is stage 6, by the way, and many of them have been working their socks off for their team leader and what have you all the way through. The moment Torshford was looking for the a stage victory, didn't get it, but got the yellow jersey way back there for Great Agricole. So the Great Agricole riders one by one will have done their day's work. One by they're all coming thundering back here. We'll pick up the race a little bit on from here, but as the team manager, I think, throwing up the odd bottle. Whoops, and here goes straight back Etsen from Belgium. He had a good ride on his day. He's in all sorts of trouble. Some classic riders coming back here. I think their legs are really hurting. Any lumpy stuff on the Tour of Britain this year?
We've got a couple of stages. There's a stage down in Somerset, which will be particularly difficult around the over Exmoor.
Oh, my old
That's probably the tough one. Where else have we got? Nice finale to a stage up in Yorkshire, finishing in a place called Dalby Forest, which is been well known for having the RAC rally in there many times, so it'll be a really nice finish. It's still a bit different.
Camera crew many years gone by on the RAC rally. We were covering it, and it's quite nice out there, isn't it? But
yeah, it really is. It's quite surprising. It's a little bit different for us, not actually finishing in a town or a village, but it'll be something really be a good finale. Last 30 kilometres, we're almost completely on closed roads, so through the forest, so that'll be a great finale.
Do you need a mountain bike?
Well, there's lots of mountain bike paths up there. I mean, that's very much what it is, a mountain bike centre up in the visitor centre in Dalby Forest. So really nice. Yeah, I'd never been up there until this year, so it's nice.
Liverpool's where it's all going to finish, by the way. We've spent many times finishing there with the old milk race many years gone by. And of course the Kellogg's, we used to have finishes there, and I think City Centre races there, so nice to be back in Liverpool, and they've had a few good decent bike rides over here too, haven't they? So
they have, certainly in my day, and just before, a little bit earlier, they were the dominant force, weren't they? Kirby CC, Liverpool Mercury,
and a nice track down the Kirby as well.
Yeah, never rode Kirby track in my eyes. I was more rode Fallowfield, my home territory.
Yeah. Reg Harris's track, wasn't it? He bought it some years ago, the Bowl Reg, and in the end it got taken over by the university or something. But
I think it's a car park now.
Oh gosh, what a change. Right then, sorry for us, those who are listening to Eurosport International, because I know we actually reach over 90 million homes across Europe, and they often, many of them, listen to it in English, and Is that
Joni?
Yeah. He's going back to do it as an English-speaking man because he's born in Reading, and although he has Italian nationality, he's done a tremendous job. Yesterday he did a great ride, didn't he? I think he worked his socks off again to stay in the frame to try and give some support to Evans. He finished in the end in 11th spot to 1 minute and 24 seconds. So I think he's not got much left in the tank at the moment. So he's dropping down a bit and not surprised. In fact, on the overall classification, he's also legs 11 this morning at 4 minutes 27 seconds. But I think it's about time he took a bit of a breather by the looks of things. What do you think, eh?
Yeah, no, he's did a good ride, and he's obviously there today to protect Evans and give him as easy a ride as is possible till they get to this final climb. Well,
then, so we've been jumping in and out of the what's on your screens here. For those people who aren't interested perhaps in the Great Britain in the Tour of Britain, do bear with us because that's the part of the world we come from, and looking forward to the days as the sport grows out of gears now in Britain, and we one day may have a great big single-day classic there as well, apart from the Tour of Britain enticing quite a number of riders. Because at the back end of the other, I'm not going to try and press Graham too much about the teams of people taking part, because a lot of that's kept under wraps at the moment. But at that time of the year, certain riders that haven't done well during the year must be looking for a chance to do something, I suppose. Although it clashes with the Tour of
Spain and Poland. Yeah. But we've done pretty well over the years. I think we. You know, a lot of people probably expecting lots and lots of Pro Tour teams, but we're not really there. We'd actually like to see 3 or 4 Pro Tour teams, and that's enough. And give some of these European continental teams, and we actually get better racing. I mean, we had great racing last year. With it tends to not get sewn up and locked up the racing, without all the Pro Tour teams. And last year, the teams like Agricole and things like that, they really did come here to race and not come here just to take part and disappear as we've had in the past with 1 or 2 teams without mentioning too many.
Yeah, exactly. I went out and did the Tour of Turkey as the public address, chatting to, I don't know, said, come out, David. I said, but I don't speak a word of Turkish. He said, oh, no, we'll have somebody with you do the translating. And a lot of people in Turkey listen to the English language, and they jumped it up, the Tour of Turkey, another level. And I think we had about 4 or 5 of the Pro Tour teams in there. With some quite useful riders in there, you're quite right. We had a jolly good race because nobody could control it and say, you behave yourself, chaps, or we'll blast you out the back. So they were jumping over the place and causing trouble. A bit to a large extent yesterday because this fellow Trofimov from Bouygues Télécom, I suppose a lot of even the top guys couldn't say, well, who the hell's this guy? Because he's riding for a Pro Tour team for the first time now, a mountain bike rider. In fact, he's going to ride in the Olympic Games for the Russian mountain bike team. That caught a few people napping yesterday. Interesting now on this climb that we've got the Rabobank team on the front. Now, I know that they're looking for perhaps an improvement on their best place rider, Guessing, who's 2 minutes 36 seconds now. In fact, quite a number of riders all ran about each other then, but why should they do so much work?
Well, maybe they're confident that Guessing can do something on this stage. It's, I mean, don't really think that we expect him to take the lead away from Valverde, but maybe they think he can go for the stage win.
And he's still got over a minute down on Leipheimer, who's in 3rd spot. So if you're looking for a place on the rostrum in 3rd spot, he's got quite a bit of a job to do there, hasn't he? And this lad Trofimov, who's 4th on general classification medals yesterday, but I don't know how his legs are hurting there. Perhaps they've got to push him out of a frame, because there's not lots of money as of just moving up 1 or 2 places, is there?
No, but it's the points really gathered for the in the Pro Tour classification. Just saying, there's one lone leader now. It's Chris Sorensen of CSC. Yeah,
he went up. But we all seen the CSC otherwise going out the back, haven't we? So it's the moment, it's every man for himself, isn't it? Man the lifeboat.
Yeah, this is the remnants of that 14-man breakaway. Still got Astor lower there. And De Gregorio, I'm not quite sure which of the Kestapan riders that will be. Could be Lopez Garcia or it could be Rubiera.
He won't do much, so he's sitting the wheels for his man to come up. Surely won't. Isn't going to be a chase when Valverde's looking for somebody up in front as well? I mean, they've got plenty of chaps round about him, but he won't do much pushing, will it, right now? Just sit there?
Yeah, I just think so. Yeah, well, remnants of the breakaway sort of getting caught by the peloton, easing up. All looking round, seeing where they're...
I wish I'd stayed in bedtime, isn't it?
Yes.
You've got to try that, haven't you? If you think you haven't got to catch Judge Italian, you keep going, soldering on and think, well, I might, because it does happen sometimes, does it?
Yeah, of course it does work. If you don't try, you've got to speculate to accumulate, as they say.
You never know, do what's going to happen. Oh dear, Araya de Peloton, oh dear, yes. and so drifting off the back one by one. It's Big George, yes. And for those of you, by the way, who've not watched the whole of the programme through that we've been covering on Eurosport here, Big George did a wonderful ride the other day when he got that victory, catching us all surprised. And very pleased indeed that George is in with the shape at the moment and was out there on the stage. It was stage 2, wasn't it? George Hincapie got that one away from Chavanel and Lang, and at that time when Hushvod took over the leader's jersey. In fact, he took it on the first stage as well, because he didn't get the time trial on the first day of the time trial. Leipheimer got the leader's jersey and just about 1 second ahead of Hushvod, who had to sit in the shadow. And then when it came to the out-and-out racing stage the next day, it was able for Hushvod to take over that classification, the yellow jersey, ahead of Valverde, who was just still 1 second back on him. And then slowly but surely, of course, we got the big stuff. Hushvod got blown out, as you expect, on the climbs, and Valverde took over the leader's jersey. And a battle then developed between Valverde, Leipheimer, Evans as the main 3 guys with the chance of taking the jersey tomorrow on Sunday, because we go on again tomorrow, and let's see how it all works out. Looking back down inside there then, that yellow jersey, Valverde, and he's in 3rd spot at the moment, isn't he? Where's Evans? A bit further back, yes, not far from him, looking over his shoulder. Rabbit lads are doing a lot of work, aren't they, as well? Yeah. Fascinated by this. What about you, Graham? I look at the faces. Often you could sort of, although try and have a mask there, suddenly the chap in trouble. The head goes down, the shoulders go up, and the face sort of changes. But I think they're all right at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, Valverde's looking pretty comfortable at the moment. Still on the lower slopes, of course.
Yeah. Haven't got to the hurt bit yet, have they?
No.
He's only got one man with him, it looks, at the moment.
He's got one in front as well, though, Lopez Garcia, in that group of 3.
Yeah, that's a good move, isn't it? I'm still fascinated by the way that Rabobank are knocking this one. I mean, Robic is saying, unless, do they think probably that Leipheimer is going to have another man down the office? I mean, yesterday he took a bit of a pasting, didn't he, on the stage, and came in 9th spot. He lost 1 minute 24 seconds yesterday. Now, if he's another bad day today, is that a chance they think it's worth pushing to getting up there to try and get 3rd spot?
Possibly, yeah. That may be what they're thinking.
Yeah. Because Trofimov is 4th at the moment, but he had a great ride yesterday. Oh, it was only a short stage. It was a mere 3 hours and 7 minutes it was yesterday. I mean, compared with today, which is 150 miles, 233 kilometres back in English money, in continental money, and with these climbs they've had, a couple of big stinking climbs towards the back end of it, one would have thought that probably Trofimov could recover from it, but you never know how much he took out of himself yesterday. Oh, going back to him, by the way, I mentioned about him being a mountain biker. He is also now going to ride for Russia in the Olympic Games in the mountain bike thing, so he's got lots of things up in the air, and that's why I couldn't understand when I started to look at where he came from, because he'd been riding with Moscow Dynamo and
football team, isn't it? Wasn't my day.
But they also have a cycling team, you see. And before that, he was Omnibike Moscow Dynamo and Moscow Stars. And I thought, well, I couldn't understand it, but it was a very low-level road riding team, but also very strong mountain bikers. And although he won 7 events last year, he started out this year by winning a stage in the Étoile de Bessage and won it overall as well. And 14th at Flèche Wallonne, so he's popped up suddenly from almost no man's land, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's no mean feat.
No, to do just that. Under 23 mountain bike world champ as well. So new lot of stars coming on the scene.
It's amazing how many riders have sort of crossed over from different parts of the sport now. You know, I mean, we've seen it on the track, riders coming from BMX into the sprint side of things. You know, with both the ladies and the men. So.
Yes, yeah. And Cadell Evans, of course, was ex-mountain biker at Road, didn't he?
Yeah, Rasmussen.
Yeah,
Didn't say that word, but
well, that one is running and running, by the way. I think he's going to ride for some smaller team. I don't know, but Rasmussen, yes, because he was a great mountain bike rider. Well, and you're right at the track because some of the track riders could play. Oh, and of course, McEwen was an ex-BMX rider, wasn't he, as well? And he learnt how to handle his bike in short, you know, mountain bike and BMX, you're over and done with in between 30 and 40 seconds. In and out, run the wheels, something else, exploded, and by God, you have to learn how to handle a bike, don't you? And when you see McEwen coming through the group, you can see there is a man who was an ex-BMX rider, and Evans, as we're picking up on our screen here, I don't know what they carry with them from mountain biking into road racing, but certainly yesterday going down that drop, I should think that Trofimov must have learned how to handle a bike going downhill.
We certainly shouldn't be scared of
Nope.
mountain descent.
No.
It's interesting that Popovic is with Evans. He's had a bit of an inconsistent week, but on the big stage he's still there.
Yep. So, a lot of fish yet to fry. We're on this climb of the day. If you just joined on, this is the one up the climb to the finish at la Toussier, and they're going up a climb 17.5 kilometres. 6.5% is the average. So on this long climb we've got here ahead of us, it's interesting to see the tall gangling lads from Rabobank from Holland, which is mostly flat as a pancake, are driving the thing at the front. They're sort of skinny guys, aren't they? But is he going to survive out here? All his mates are going out the back, having left the remnants, getting himself at least a few pictures. 12 k's to go. 1 minute 14 seconds.
Yeah,
no.
Very unlikely.
No.
He's having a go though.
He's no great set on the overall classification anyway, is it?
No, he's well down. I was looking at it earlier. Is Sorensen? He's 25 minutes down overall.
No, we've seen him in this race so far, drifting back. He's had a jolly good tour, hasn't he, so far? And another man's prepared to throw his hat into the ring. Is now going backwards and wondering, well, should I have started on this way back down the road? And now he's going to have a bit of a time to hang on to it, by the looks of things.
Still Valverde happy to let the Rabobanks carry on at the front. Doing him a favour.
Aren't they? That's Big George back. Who's no?
Rogers.
Rogers. Oh, no, he's come good, hasn't he, towards the end? He had quite a good go yesterday. Finishing 10th spot from the high road team, so that was psychologically quite useful, I think, for his team, that he got him up there into 10th spot, because he seemed to have lost a bit of the plot earlier on in this race. I think looking, where's he down on the GC? I think he's a bit out of the frame. Can't find him right now, but he's trying to climb up. Yeah, he's 13th, unlucky for some man. 4 minutes and 35 seconds down. So if you're interested in motorsport and you're hanging on watching the cycling gun, just give you sort of the flavour of bike racing when you've got the main peloton picking up the guys who went away earlier on the race, pulling them back, and then you'll see all the team cars behind looking after the ride. They won't any problems. You get the press out here taking pictures of the riders, and the spectators. The moment in dribs and drabs, the further up you go, the more there will be people there. And that's a lovely shot that was. It encapsulates the whole thing. And bear in mind, by the way, that they're covering those who back in Great Britain. It's 150 miles today. How often would you like to ride your bike 150 miles and got two thumping great climbs as well? For those who are listening to our commentary in other parts of the world apart from Great Britain, it's 233 kilometres, and it's a couple of thumping great climbs to sort them out. Rather hard day in the office, isn't it?
Still just a sort of steady tempo in this group yet.
Yeah,
No,
see that,
no action.
Yeah. It's wearing down press, isn't it? People that
yeah, it's dwindling down one at a time.
Yeah.
Sort of more of a process of elimination rather than anybody attacking.
Yeah. I suppose there must be more interest to see how long the top guys can keep somebody with them rather than anything else, isn't it? There must be a psychological disadvantage when you're on your own maroon and somebody you thought might be with you is being blown out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that more psychology down.
It's always down. Yeah, it's always nice to have a teammate or two around you.
The remnant performance of the Lamprey team. There he is. I mean, went to our teammates, and he's on his own. I don't think he's got anybody, even the back group either. 5, if you didn't hear the early part of our programme, 5 of the Lamprey team. That's the blue and pinky colours back there. The Lamprey team knocked it on the head yesterday. 5 of them retired from, and they were 1 less when they started as well. So the poor guy, there are more people driving cars and driving vans, massaging his legs, giving him food than are actually on their bikes right now. Oh dear, shouldn't laugh about this, but he's comes away from Poland, Schmidt, to ride for the Lamprey team. So he's showing some guts and determination. Hello,
he's had enough, done his bit.
Oof, bang.
Just Chris Sorensen is doing a really good ride actually. I mean, he's now over a minute up in front of those 3 chasers, Di Gregorio, Astaloza and Lopez Garcia, but the peloton now sort of 1 minute 40ish.
But they started to go a bit quicker now.
Yeah, they have started to attack, but although that pursuit was being done by the Rabobank riders, we were actually losing time on Sorensen in front.
But even so, Winning has just been blown up, his legs have gone, so they can't, well, they're going, I would say, reasonably slow, but you're quite right, because Sorensen's doing a good ride, isn't he? Yeah. He's got rid of the chap leading the chase. Yeah, they're all strung out now. Who's pressed the panic button? Because you're quite right that suddenly well, look, they're not bothered about him though, are they? Or are they getting bothered?
No, they're not bothered about him. It's again, it's one of those a race within a race, really. Astaloza is the most dangerous out there in front, but even he's still 3 minutes down, so Valverde would have no reason to worry about him too much at the moment. Leclerc?
Yeah, as usual. Shirt open, jumped up and down. He's not the most stylish.
He isn't, no, not the most economical of riders.
The original rock and roll. Hello. Now, why is he going up the fence? To try and slow it down a bit. Whoops. Because his mates down the road. That's 2 of them, aren't there, of the Escotel team? So
still only 1 in front now. Astaloza. Yeah. Right.
So, but why try and close the gap? Why would he take up the chase?
I'm not quite sure.
That's odd, isn't it? That I thought that the Escotel would quite have just a stick in the wheels. Bouygues Télécom, they had their moment of glory yesterday with Trofimov getting the stage victory. That's the colours you are seeing there on your screen. Again, looking about the way these things go, because we get these like top shots, and I know some people switch on cycling first time and maybe think about watching the Tour de France, which we're covering right the way through here on Eurosport. You can see on the left-hand side as we went down there, all the motorcycles are there. They are the cameramen, and the cameramen are taking the pictures up for the national newspapers and magazines and so on. They keep out on the one side of the road there, and they also have a rotation because there are more than enough cameramen, and there's a pecking order too. So once they get their pictures, they have to drop back. Another one comes forward because you can't have everybody on motorcycles there, and that also is well structured as well. They know who they are, and there's a pecking order too, where the best parts of the course, the best cameramen have the best opportunity to get the pictures. Trouble time back here, isn't it? I think that moment of activity has subsided, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think the Escotel did actually go to the front to slow it down.
Yeah. It's come back together, hasn't it? And there's yellow jersey. Valverde looking good. There's Pino on a bicycle. Evans on his wheel. There, that's the twosome, isn't it? I read, by the way, that Evans, when he had this tendinitis thing, was the trouble came from the fact that he'd been in a wind tunnel trying to improve his time trial position ready for the Tour de France, and they've adjusted his position. Of course, when you go in the wind tunnel, the cold air or something, got to his knee.
Yeah, I read something about that. Yeah, it seems bizarre, doesn't it? What can happen to you?
I remember the old days, Fausto Coppi saying, what do they attribute to his success? He said, ride a bike, ride a bike, ride a bike. And that was in the old days. All you do, you went out and rode your bike, rode your bike, rode your bike. Now they put you in wind tunnels to make sure you're more aerodynamic and find ways of flattening the spokes and things like that. So it's a whole new ballgame, isn't it?
It is, yeah. They're trying to find that, you know, every little second or half a second here and there.
But still, you've got to get the miles, haven't you?
There's no substitute for that.
No. If anybody out there just think, no, I can't suddenly become a bike rider, you've got to go out there and learn not only to get the miles in, but learn how to suffer as well. Well, he's no great danger, is he, that ride up there? But so why, we just looking back there, was the team of the Custard Pound starting to push the pressure on a bit? So I struck me as a bit early on the slope ground. What do you think?
No, that's probably just keeping the tempo up, just to sort of try and put off any sort of attacks. But I do think this yellow jersey group's now closing on the three chasers anyway.
Yeah. So is that a good reason why they've decided to put a bit of pressure on?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just a tempo, just to put off people at potential attacks. Just make it uncomfortable, not flat out, but uncomfortable.
Well, there they are. Those are the two Spanish riders, Lopez and Astarosa. And looking back through the phalanx of motorcycles, it's about 30 seconds, isn't it? Maybe.
Yeah, I think probably less between the three in that group.
Now that white motorcycle, you probably saw there with a stick up the top. That's to do with picking up the television picture which you're getting. So give you some idea who's giving you the pictures. Again, they have to make sure they keep out of trouble. They don't tow anybody up there. Good chance of looking at how bike racing evolved before your very eyes. Look, well, why can't we cover this? Why can't we do this on television? Why can't we have that cycle race on it? You can imagine the cost is up, because up there in the sky now there's a helicopter whizzing around. All it's doing is banging the pictures from here up to an aeroplane which is up in the sky as well. They're banging the pictures further on to where it's all being put together and whacked out into the sky so we can all see it. It's quite amazing the facilities that are used and the cost of all that. I mean, just flying a helicopter is a bit on the expensive side, and not only flying the thing, is making sure you don't bump into anything with the planes. You've got to go up there or down there. Look at this now. Look at those wires there. The chap driving the helicopter's been here already. He knows that there's a wires there, isn't he? Because he goes down to you've hit him, eh?
Yeah, there's a lot goes into it. I mean, we again going back to Tour of Britain. It's, you know, we have a helicopter as well. You know, I mean, there's a lot goes into just having that helicopter in the air for you know, every day for 8 days.
And he has to make sure he doesn't run into cables like that. Look, there they are down there. If he comes down to a low, because sometimes we've seen them in various races where they drop down on a slope below the level of the riders, haven't they? There's some lovely pictures back at home. But you imagine the cables you have to, because chap flying an helicopter can't see these, can he? He has to know they're not there. He can't go there. Look, I know you cycling experts, by the way, watching home many years. Well, stop rabbiting on David and get back to bike racing, but do bear with me, because we're getting more and more people now following cycling, don't quite understand the complexity of it all, and then they get really fascinated in it and start to follow it that much closer. If you look now, if you're going to London, by the way, the number of cyclists now, nose to tail, I think it's gone up like 200% in the last 2 or 3 years, and the people out there riding bicycles, they're never going to become racing cyclists, but when they get to the office on Monday morning, having ridden their bike in with their business suit and their briefcase on their shoulder, somebody's going to talk about the cycle race rather than the football or something, aren't they? It becomes a question of chatting about, doesn't it, Grant?
Yeah, no, definitely that side of the cycling is that, you know, it's a big market nowadays for the cycle. I mean, the purchasing of bikes, I think, has gone up quite considerably this last few years, you know, and it's down to more people commuting, the sort of green issues. But I think the biggest thing is actually trying to make it safer and less traffic on the road for people to commute to work, and people will do it.
Yeah. But the only way it's being safer, if people driving cars now were cyclists, they respect cyclists. I think the more we have people riding bicycles as they move into driving cars as well, you have that bit more respect. When you're riding bikes, you've done far more than I've done out in Europe, you find yourself riding a bike and the chap in the car behind just gives you a bit more space and understands what you're doing, particularly like Holland and so on like that. Everybody rides bikes and drives cars, and there's a respect between the two, because that fraction of a second when somebody pushes their way past you doesn't make that much difference, but they know they can knock you off.
Yeah, when Holland and Belgium, when you're on a cycle path and you cross a side road that's coming out, you've got a priority going across that road. It's you know, cars can't turn across you on cycle paths because they're in the wrong straightaway. It's a whole different mentality.
Well, I'm not anti... Oh, they're coming back now. He's done his job, hasn't he? Tried so hard. Oh, dear.
So that's Astaloza, Lopez Garcia and Di Gregorio caught. So we've just got the one rider in front, Chris Sorensen of CSC.
Astaloza tried, didn't he? He went across there, his teammate dropped back, if you haven't seen the early part of our programme, and looked like he was having a bit of a go. In fact, as far as they were concerned, the Escatel team, they got Astaloza lying 8th though on general classification this morning at 3 minutes and 15 seconds down. So Beldia, I think, is here, just gone past him with 3 minutes 17 seconds down. So they had a couple of strings to their bow, didn't they? And sent their mate up there to come back to him. But now he's gone back into his main pack. I'm not quite sure he's had a bit of a breather, although he's going to find himself in trouble. We shall see. That's half the trouble, isn't it? You go out there and think you're having a decent ride, but you've got to get into the wheels now. And just the moment they've gone past him, they put the pressure down.
Yeah, there's a little bit easier part of the climb just here, just sort of not, well, it's not quite flat, but it does ease off a little bit.
And his gap has gone up to over 2 minutes, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's around 2 minutes now, yeah.
It's increased, hasn't it?
So all for that acceleration in the sort of yellow jersey group, he's not been losing any time. In fact, he's been gaining time.
But they're not bothered about him on the overall classification, are they?
No.
It's a race within a race.
They're not worried about him at all at the moment. Now is the race behind for the yellow jersey and for the overall positions. If they happen to catch him and then the stage wind sort of presents himself, all well and good, but they're not too worried about him at the moment.
Well, you probably saw the graphics, by the way, on down there on the right-hand side of the screen. He started, that 25-something was the actual gap that he was down on general classification this morning. So he's no great shakes anywhere on the threat for the yellow jersey. The lead now is some 2 minutes again, pops down the bottom there between him and the moment. Sorensen's the last man of the group up there in the front. I think we'll do now, Graham, pointed Walle, because a lot of people come in late to pick up the last part of a bike race and don't know what's going on. Let's update now about who did what, because now we know, except for the one man out there, we're down to the big race. It's all happening for our very eyes, but it's been sort of, I'll say complex, but what, we had 20 riders away to begin with? 20
riders that went away, sort of about 40 odd kilometres, spent most of the day away, hit the big climb all together, but soon developed a group of 12 riders that sort of formed in front, went over the top of the Col de Quad Fair. The interesting thing, Roland was in that leading group of 12 riders, and he's actually taken the King of the Mountains, so that's a bit of compensation for his efforts over the last few days. Obviously he had his second place the other day on the mountain stage, so
he got overtaken, didn't he, poor chap on the line,
take the King of the Mountains. It's you know, it's been good for him, but amongst those are Roland, Halgon, Effinkin, Goubert, Rubiera, Sorensen, Di Gregorio, Moina, Moncoutier, Lopez Garcia, Fletcher, Oroz, Van der Waal, and also Astaloza, who came across to that group later on. But they've all been caught now on this final climb one by one, with the exception of Chris Sorensen, who's just staying out in front and doing a great ride.
Well, Fofonov has done his day as well. He's just drifted off the front there, leaving Evans hanging on for up the front on his own. He hasn't got any support at all. So one by one, the pressure's on here right now, and that was Trofimov.
Yeah, is that yesterday's winner?
Yeah, he's gone
getting dropped.
That's interesting, of course. On the general classification, he was 4th this morning, 2 minutes 16 seconds down. He could lose a lump at that time, couldn't he? So with Gesink of Rabobank this morning was 2 minutes 36 seconds down, 20 seconds behind. The Rabobank driving that one through looks like they've done the damage.
It looks like they've done some sort of damage, yeah.
So that he can move up, Gesink into 4th spot the way he's looking at.
Yeah,
unless Trofimov make a bit of a recovery, but I don't think so.
No, it didn't look too good there.
So at least he's done what he could do. And
Evans attacking, I think, there.
He said, oh good, great, with about, 5 k's to go. Now this is something we've not seen from Evans for years. I've gone on and on about the fact he just sits in the wheels, goes towards the end. I think the only time he went out was when he had that leader's jersey in the Tour of Italy and did a decent ride one day and then died 1,000 deaths the next day. But this is very, very early on, isn't it?
It is. It's 5-6 kilometres to go. It's a good time to go. I mean, his first attack might not always succeed. You know, he might have to try 1 or 2, but he certainly opened a gap there. And at the moment, Valverde's not reacted at all.
18 seconds ahead he was. 37 seconds behind Valverde. And yesterday he finished 18 seconds behind Trofimov. He had a good go yesterday, second space with Valverde on his wheel on that particular occasion. Now he said, right, I'll throw my hat back into the ring again. And Cadlevan Evans then this morning, 37 seconds down on Valverde, has made a brave move. So looking back down the overall situation, if we're going to pick up the rider in the green jersey, by the way, that's Leipheimer this morning on the points classification, had 90 points, Valverde 122 points, and on the mountain classification, Juan Jose Cobo was in the lead, but he's lost that one now at the moment. So things are changing before your very eyes. Yeah, oh, he's in trouble too, isn't he? Look, oh, he's hanging on just a bit.
Yeah, this group's dwindling down one by one.
Doesn't look good.
Interesting, Federico's still in there as well from Bouygues Telecom.
This is the sort of activity we've not seen from Evans for an awful long time, and apart from the fact I think he's going to bloody a few noses here if he keeps this up, he's throwing his hat in the ring for the Tour de France coming up in a couple of weeks' time. Watch this space. Looking at the back end here, the Russian rider Schmidt, he's still in there, for the Lamprey team. He'll be moving up in classification the way things are going. But he looks confident at the moment, though. But,
yeah, maybe he's just not panicking.
No.
I mean, Evans doesn't look like he's really opening the gap there. Zubeldia.
Yeah, well, Zubeldia.
Navarro from Astana.
Well, Zubeldia 9th this morning in the general classification, and his teammate Astolz obviously did the damage, making Field chase off. But Evans is riding at a good rhythm, isn't he? You're quite right. He doesn't look like he's going absolutely eyeballs out, but he's putting some pressure on the field behind him. And yes, they're going out the back. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 7 riders left right now. Well,
certainly looks like he's heading for a victory at the moment.
Doesn't it? Yes, yeah. He's looking good.
It's a victory from nowhere, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I won't say it was gifted to him, but he had to get rid of all that other riders, didn't he?
Some reasonably good climbers in that group as well. Yeah. So it's not like he's sort of chapeau bidon, as they sort of say.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. Was it chapeau
bidon? It's a sort of what they call a silly break, or not an important break.
Right. Well, no, he's done the job. And of course, the other thing was that we saw way back the CSC team were losing riders left, right, and centre. They were dropping off. Must have been half an hour ago. There was nobody even in the main peloton, was there? So he had to go on his own.
No, because Sastre and Cuesta were the 2 riders that were there, but they've gone.
Yeah. So every man for himself, isn't it? And particularly for Evans here. So we've got something very interesting happening. And I think Valverde is pushing and shoving and trying. I think like his legs are turning a bit to lead. I don't know about you, but next time we go back there, it looked like he was trying to shove too big a gear out. Whereas Evans is rolling, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got 19 seconds or 20 seconds or so on Valverde at the moment, so he's pulling that time back off Valverde. 37 seconds he's got to make up, but still Gesink doing all the work.
And also to let you know, dear viewer back at home, that we haven't got any time bonuses on the mountain stages. One thing about this race at the moment, the only time bonus is 10, 6 and 4. We're down on the 2 inverted commas flatter stages. So it's every man for himself with any chance of getting anything knocked off as well. So you can press your watches when he goes across here. If he goes on his own, after the other ride, if he goes out. Well, I'm exaggerating things here, but certainly there's an opportunity here for the true time to apply, not just taking time bonus out of it. Interesting now, we're also being followed by the Mavic cars that come through with a couple of spare wheels there alongside it, because you can't bring the team cars up at this particular point, or the Mavic cars, so they've dropped the Mavic chap back there with a couple of spare wheels in case he has a problem and has a puncture. In fact, so he's got company in that respect, and of course lots of cameramen beginning to come swarming past him here. And the other thing is, of course, fortunately, there's not a lot of crowd people at it, but the fumes they breathe back in from these motorcycles is astronomical, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
If they're not careful. Valverde's taken up the chase now.
Leipheimer attacking.
Has he recognised the danger here? Because Trofimov has gone and Gesink is with him, and doesn't presume Leipheimer and Gesink this morning was something like about 30 or nearly a minute. So in fact, I suppose, no sense he can go and bust a gut. But he's off. Or is it just down to prestige?
No, he may be still thinking of the stage win. There's still, isn't he? I know it's that 4 kilometre we've just gone through there.
You mean he can catch...
But so you never know. It's a long way to go on a mountain stage.
On the flat.
So not many riders left in that group now. I think we've just got Valverde, Gesink, Federico, Schmidt and Zubeldia behind Evans and Leipheimer.
It's coming across quickly, isn't he? He's closed that gap down, isn't he?
Yeah, maybe only 5 seconds or so. Yeah, I don't think Valverde's panicking at the moment. I think he's just decided that it's not for him to go jumping after all these attacks. And
but on the points classification, he's got the green jersey. He's lying second behind Valverde. There's not the points up here, surely, for him to get the green jersey in its rights. I thought the points classification, he had 90 points and Valverde 122. So, but I suppose the points isn't some of these guys race for, is it?
No, that comes along by the by.
It's handed to you at the finish, and you say, oh, that's nice, thank you. Oh gosh, he's come back quickly, isn't he? You're right, he's just riding with himself, isn't he?
Yeah, he's getting a little bit of help by everybody. He's on his own, there's no
but why
teammates
balance,
there.
because you've got such a big gap between them. Why don't they let him Fry let Valverde hurt himself? Because the rest of the guys with him, they're not doing more than shuffling down the pack amongst them, are they?
No, we've got Federico doing the work at the front now. In fact, Valverde's on the front himself now.
He's coming
Zubeldia on his wheel now, so he's coming right back at them.
Look, he's going fast. He's opened up there, hasn't he?
What price of Valverde stage win after all that?
Yeah, look at it. He's out the saddle. He's starting to go. Oh my goodness, that's calculation, isn't it?
I think the others might be struggling to stay here.
And Schmidt sticking to the wheels here. We're watching a cracking
Zubeldia and Federico losing contact.
It's a cracking day here, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a good finish.
Yeah. Well, Schmidt come through and Valverde onto his wheel now.
Schmidt, Valverde, Zubeldia, Federico.
Gesink is
just hanging on there.
Yeah. Oof. Oh dear. Yes, I think he's realised he can't do any more damage, does he, Evans?
Leipheimer doesn't want to know.
No. Yes, he says, "Flick, come on, boo." No way, mate. Oh dear. 2K to go. In that case, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to hang on. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get.
Which is good. It's nice as he's been away for quite a while now. He's probably done most of the climb on his own.
Yeah. Was that Trofimov coming back, by the way? I'm saying, well, what's happening at the back end here? Because one or two changes happening behind us. And sort of like, oh yes, he is going now. Why is he doing this? Because
it won't please Evans too much, the fact that he asked him to come through us a few metres ago and he didn't.
Yeah.
But the gap's opened up again now.
Yeah. He's calculating, isn't he? You can see it on his face. Let these guys have a go and I'll just sit here and ride my own speed and run my own pace. Follow this wheel, follow that wheel. Doesn't move Federico is on the general classification, so he's a bit of a surprise turn up for the day, isn't he? Because he's not there.
He's the one you would associate with this sort of terrain, actually.
Yeah.
Federico, 21 minutes down,
yeah.
67th overall.
Well, he's going well, isn't he? Okay to go then for Sorensen. He's got the thing absolutely stitched now. He's done a wonderful ride. That surprised a few people. But always through this race, Graham, we seem to have different people pop up. We didn't expect to do things, and I think that's good for the sport, isn't it? They're being allowed a certain amount of freedom, which, well, the big guns are sort of having their own little battle, preparing themselves for the Tour de France, psychological as well as physically. Other chaps have popped up. No same disrespect for the fact they've done it and gifted it. They've ridden very calculating races, haven't they? Another case here where I said, let's go to the early break, let's ride the socks off and let's see what happens. And he's out there now and looks like he's getting for a victory here for a rider who over the years has got the odd success here there. I mean, he's been ex-German, ex-Danish champion in years gone by, but certainly I think he's on a great ride today, and no doubt about it, there'll be somebody out there for CSC getting the old champagne ready, I think, for the back in the hotel tonight, because I think he's deserved it, and there's a lot still having the other, but Valverde's going to turn back.
He is, yeah. Just as he does it, Leipheimer goes again.
Oh dear. Oh dear, dear, dear.
So he's onto them now. All there, Smith, Federico and Zubeldia.
Yeah, all back together. Oh, off we go. Viva France, yes. I don't know. Look at this, 6 hours compared with yesterday, when the stage was 3 hours and 7 minutes. They've nearly double the time in the saddle today, and still they've got all this sprightliness then, and they've got another day yet to go. So 6 hours and 15 minutes of racing today for the 150 English miles, 233 kilometres, and Sorensen here riding a very determined rider from the CSC, done it mostly on his own toward the back end. Then he didn't have much company at all. Now cameras are going back to the battle for the yellow jersey rather than staying with his lad, but no doubt about it, he's earned the applause of the crowd coming up towards the finish today of the stage into La Toussière. Stage 6 then of the Critérium du Dauphiné Libéré. Sorensen the winner.
Picture celebration spoil there, not falling off.
Well,
probably quite windy up there.
It is, yeah. And so this is Federico, another man we didn't expect to see much of today. Evans has gone back to driving it forward. I thought by now he'd just said, well, enough is enough. Oh, he's only in a private battle with Leipheimer, who's determined to try and trail into third spot. Leipheimer, I think he's just saying, no, I had a bad day yesterday, but I'm not dead yet. Is that what it is?
I think it must be.
He had a bad day yesterday, didn't he? It came in, what was it, yesterday? Leipheimer back 9th at 1 minute and 24 seconds down. Oh, Danny Monjas, the French. Vive France. Oh, what is Schmidt's having a go as well? He's not going to close the gap though, surely, on Leipheimer. What a day we've had again at bike racing. Glorious sunshine upon the crowd. A bit chilly up at the top, by the way, but certainly it's been a warm day as far as these riders are concerned. As Leipheimer coming through here, and Schmidt, and then Valverde. Well, Evans tried so hard, but didn't quite make it in the end of it all. Zubeldia also with him, so. And well, Rabank put the pressure on. Let's go Sink coming in here. Wow. I enjoyed today, you do?
Yeah, it's a good stage.
And I hope we did back
at home. Not changed anything overall, really, but it's a good stage. It could have done.
Shot the odd second here and there, didn't it? And we've still got a fairly hard day tomorrow, by the way. Stage 7, Saint-Jean-de-Maurienne to Grenoble. Mind you, it runs down a bit flat towards the end, doesn't it? But there are three climbs.
No, the 3 climbs all close together at the end. Col de Grenier, Col de Coucheron, and also the Col de Port. Col de Port's not too difficult, the final climb. And a long, long descent into Grenoble.
Few scores still to settle for the riders coming in behind here. And I say, just imagine that, been on their bikes for over 6 hours, and they're still knocking 7 bells out of each other. Few scores to settle there. I say, not a lot of money there to win, but no doubt about it, they've survived the day today. Tomorrow, by the way, not too far, 128 kilometres, so it could be a fairly short day, but you never know what's going to happen on a bike race, whatever might go on, with the climbs yet to come. The wearing down process has been going on and on and on. I love bike racing, and they still, right towards it, even though they've got nearly 3 minutes down, they're going to hammer across the line. And so, well, that's it then. And great day for Rasmussen to win today's stage, but no great change overall on general classification. So, well, we're getting towards the end of our program right now. I don't know if we've got time to have the presentation up on the rostrum. Keep your fingers crossed because a lot of riders yet to come. Of course, they've got to try and get inside the time limit. And we started out this morning with something like about 129 riders or thereabouts, and so a lot more yet to come on the stage today. And they'll all be desperate. You'd be surprised, even though they're coming in dragged off the back there, trying. The countdown often happens. If you come up to the finish, say, one of the Tour de France or something, or big races, you'll actually hear Danny Monjas giving the cut-off point, and the crowd will start shouting down and encouraging the riders to come over the line. So I often have great sympathy for those who come last as much as those who came first. So Chris Sorensen there, first this time. Good 1 minute ahead of Federico. Leipheimer just leading in Schmidt, Valverde, Evans, Zopelda, Gesink and Carrera. So no great shakes on the overall classification, I thought, right now. And at least Leipheimer, I think, has recovered from his bad day yesterday when he was really having a bad day, dropped himself out the frame. I thought today if he went through another bad patch, he might have lost out. One man who probably has lost out a bit, Trofimov, who was fourth on the general classification. We saw him drifting off a bit, and Gesink, I think, might have moved up just one slot on the GC. And well, this is Eds, by the way.
Who's Popovic?
Is it Popovic? Oh, yeah. No, Popovic, that's right, yes. And who's doing the work earlier on, and he suddenly lost it. That just shows how much you can lose, isn't it? In what, 2-3 Ks?
Yeah, but once he'd done his work, he probably thought, that's it for me today. Yeah. I will get to the finishes using as little energy as I can.
Because he's got another day tomorrow, hasn't he?
Another day tomorrow and another race in a few weeks' time.
Another day to do the work then. And as they go back, by the way, down the hill, sometimes the organisers don't like the riders to go back down unless they keep to one side, because there is a photo finish system there that picks them up. You don't want riders going down as well as up the other way, so they have to keep them out of the way. And anyway, the ever-present snow, this lot stays there all the way through, doesn't it? You go out in the summer and it hardly ever disappears, by the way. You can see the way that the cable cars have taken the skiers up. Many of you perhaps watching home, maybe waiting for the motor racing to come on from Le Mans, will know this part of the world when you go skiing, but they've ridden up. I know you with the skiers, you go down, but this guy came up in fine form then. Chris Sorensen comes from Hamel, rides the TSC and CSC, and well, I'm looking back down here, and in fact this is his best victory ever at the moment. Looking down, he's been a young lad coming through, and well, he's 85th last year in the overall Pro Tour, and so he's done his best ride. I think we've got to watch out this young lad, by the way, because we didn't expect him, and he's come from nowhere. And in fact, with the CSC team, this is only his second year. Oh yes, we'll record it for you, mate. When you get back home, young lad, new kid on the block, no doubt about it. He's done a great day today. And for the French film, Federico, certainly they've got something to shout about all the way through this race so far. And no great change overall. Looking down that, compare what it was before. Oh yes, the Leipheimer sniffed back another 5 seconds.
Yeah, and Gesink's moved up to 4th.
Yes,
that's probably the main.
That was a big. That's what did the damage, didn't they?
So Beldy got up from 9th.
Yeah, yeah. And the rest. 5th. Yeah. The Schmidt back into 8th spot there, and well.
Rogers into 10th place. That's a good sign, because he's had a difficult time this last year or so. Yeah. So maybe he's just coming into form. You know, hoping he can get selected for the Tour. I think that's what he's after.
But look at the selection of flags there, which showing many different nations taking part. One time it just being French or Italian or Spanish flags, but no, they're all coming in. The CSC team had a great day today with their man winning the stage. Well done to Rasmussen. There we are. They're hearing the information coming out on the loudspeaker. By the way, the CSC team very happy they did the work earlier on, and one by one the riders, I think, will be very pleased to get themselves sorted before tomorrow's stage then, taking on down from Saint-Jean-de-Maurienne to Grenoble. And this is the man then who I think he's a sort of guy, I'm sure, Graham, everybody say well done, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to see, you know, this sort of effort get its rewards, really. I'm not quite sure what the fishing world relation is, but maybe we'll find out later.
I thought he was, in the old days when he had the cameras, you wound it up or so. Perhaps he said, record this, I'd like to see it when I get home.
Looked more like he was reeling in the finish line then to me, I'm not sure.
No doubt.
Yeah, he's casting, yeah, you see.
Oh, that's it. Oh, he's a fisher, is he?
Yeah, he's casting and reeling in, so.
Well, there aren't many fish up here, are there?
No.
Well, there we are then. Hope you enjoyed it, by the way, and you'll come back and join us tomorrow. I think about half an hour later in the start. From Graham, Jones, myself, David Duffy. Thanks for your company. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. More points for the Kingdom Manager's jersey. I think he's got that one stitched up quite nicely now. What's the gap back towards the... Oh, they're having their little race here, aren't they?
That was Roland Cazar and Vegelius.
Yep. So Roland looks like he's stitched up the Kingdom Manager's jersey now.
Yeah, I'm sure he has.
Yeah.
He went over that climb in 6th position. There's no real threat in front overall for the King of the Mountains. So. It's the first jersey that's definitely won.
Yep. Well, I think the points jersey. Anyway, that's gone to Valverde, hasn't it?
Yeah, so, and you know, barring accidents,
the yellow jersey as well.
The yellow jersey as well, and the combine jerseys. Something we've not really talked about, but he is leading the combined classification as well.
That's pretty complicated, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just to make sure a sponsor gets his exposure. By the time they give the jersey or the award or something, end of it all, and the cameras go out there, everybody's gone home virtually, isn't it?
It's not a jersey you see too often now in many of the races.
I've got one.
Combine jersey.
Yeah, I've got a combine jersey.
Yeah, I remember the Tour used to have one, didn't it?
That's right. I've got
all
one.
The different colours, the yellow, green.
Yeah. Yes, I would.
White.
There's a nice bar not far from the hotel in Paris where we stay quite a lot, and Greg LeMond turned up one day and he gave him the jersey for the Le Mans Tour, and there it was, and I've got it with the combine jersey with Le Mans Tour written on the thing. I think it's probably the only one in Great Britain. I preserved that one. I write it from time to time. Still 82 are pushing. I'm still bemused.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. I'm not quite sure why they're doing it, because even if I mean, they originally had Christophe Riblon in that leading group of riders, but even though he's out of the running to win the stage, it's a little bit late to sort of like AG2R to be chasing, to think, well, maybe we need to get somebody else up there or bring it back, so we've got a chance of winning the stage. So it's one, I'm not quite sure why they're doing it.
Well, there we are. There's the main pack, the top 3 minutes and 45 seconds down, and the back end, the Alia, the chaps off the back just hanging on for grim death, and come back and they'll rejoin. And that big thing, of course, is to make sure they all come down in one piece. Nobody doesn't think it's stupid and takes anybody else down with them. But again, AG2R coming down here like a dose of salt. So I can't understand why, but at least they came out of trouble. And this fellow here looks good, doesn't he? Well, he hasn't got a big enough gear now. Oh, look at what you're hanging your hats. Oh, dear me.
This is a narrow part of the race. Yeah.
Keep your fingers crossed. This is great, isn't it?
But the roadworks there, probably when they did the original route, wasn't scheduled or weren't aware of the roadworks that were going ahead there, but it looks as though they could get through okay.
But that will probably slow down some of the chasers, won't it? Because he's gone down on his own, and as it's downhill, then the other people will sort of ease him back a bit, won't they?
But they'll be strung out down that descent, and they've got, you can hear the whistle from the gendarme and the yellow flag, so they'll have plenty of advance warning.
This is great, isn't it, eh?
Quite a good descent, this one. It's quite a good descent. It's not too dangerous.
Still AG2R. Why? Well, perhaps all will be revealed later on when we get the... Oh, he's saying, yeah, come on, either you go or you get out, I suppose. Yeah. Why was he sort of waving there, Castapan, saying, is it get out the way? Yes, that's right. Let me take over now. Oh, he's come back again. Do they want a clear run? Is that what he's saying, to get out the way, let's have a clear run?
Maybe he knows the descent very well, just likes being at the front.
Oh, the AG2R rider, yeah, it could be. He says, no, I know the way down, you follow me, yeah. There's certainly on the Tour de France, they go and practice the climb at some of the descents, but a race like this, you can't go out and practice it, can you? You just have to, keep your fingers crossed.
No, it's just the only thing you get from this is years of experience of maybe having done it in previous editions, but really most of it, would probably 50% or more of this field have probably never seen these climbs today.
Another thing for people back at home watching the coverage here in France, you'll understand also how the roads are cleared of traffic coming other way, that the vehicles are out of the way, that the public here respect the fact there's a bike race going on. And no doubt about it, they have all the road to themselves. Keep your fingers crossed.
Prove your European football knowledge with our Euro fantasy game. Sign up for free and show off your managerial ability.
I could do anything for you. Would you do anything for me too? Anything for you. Anything for you.
Behind all greatness is the passion of many. Hyundai, official partner UEFA Euro 2008.
Get the coolest action games when you subscribe to Eurosport Clubs for £6 a week. To get Medal of Honor Airborne, send Euro 1. To get Juiced 2, send Euro 2. Or for the classic Bejeweled, send Euro 3. And experience Need for Speed Pro Street with Euro 4. Or become the UEFA Cup champ by texting Euro 5. And bring the smackdown by sending Euro 6. Or check out our gaming store by sending Euro to 88888 now.
CD cycling shoes.
No, I think it'd go on GC first.
Well, we're chatting out to Graham herself because we're hearing, by the way, that it looks like there's a tie on the King of the Mountains points, and so I think it's now how do we sort it out? And Graham just saying that it goes on the situation on general classification. But we'll come back to you in just at a moment as the riders are dropping down here. I'm David Duffy. Thanks for your company for the last 7 days, and Graham Jones alongside me here. We're watching with bated breath. Hope these guys come down. We had a cracking race so far. I'm doing it right now because sometimes we go off air a bit quick towards the end of it all, and this the Dauphiné Libéré, the 60th year right now. It's been organised by the French newspaper, the Dauphiné Libéré, and it's been a family business, by the way, organised by George Cazeneuve, and his nephew then Thierry's taken it over for the last 20 years or so. So it's a very interesting race, and before we went to the break I was saying that of course there are no cars out on the road, that this is open for the racing, and the French just love this this particular type of road. But looking ahead to racing out on open roads, the Tour of Britain coming up. What's the date, Graham? And
7th to the 14th of September.
Right, and it's all over the place.
About 3 months ago. 3 months to go, roughly.
Watch this space then. Starting in London.
Starting in London.
Finishing
we've got
in
a
Liverpool.
stage, Milton Keynes to Newbury, Chard to Burnham-on-Sea over in Somerset and Devon, Worcester to Stoke. Hull to Dalby Forest, then we've got a Darlington to Gateshead, Newcastle, Scottish stage, Glasgow to Drumline, Castle, and then final stage, Blackpool to Liverpool.
Right then, as I say, watch this space, some months to go yet, and all revealed is taking part. At that time of the year too, lots of other riders who are looking for something to do at the back end if they haven't done well during the season will turn up to ride there, and I know the British public turn out in large numbers, and well, we shall be watching that with bated breath. But between now and then, we've got the Tour de France coming up July the 5th to the 27th, just some 3 weeks to go, and just about, I don't know, at least a third of the riders you see here will be taking part in that race. And by the way, just whilst we're also putting some advertising in space, by the way, in place, on the 14th of September, there's a thing called the Real Man Cycling Challenge taking place at the Excel Centre in London Docklands. I'm saying that because it's in aid of the prostatecancer.org.uk can tell you more about it. It's getting money for the prostate cancer campaign, and the teams of 4 taking part in that. I'm pushing it myself because I was one of those chaps who got stuck with prostate cancer and survived, but every week I think about 30,000 people, men, suffer from it during the year. So anyway, that's a bit of a publicity towards that. Keep your fingers crossed for that. I'll certainly be out there with a team of 4 taking part in that, and those you want to also, if you've got friends and those family that have had that problem, just check out on your websites, and I hope you'll either come and ride or take interest in that event on the 14th September, the realmancyclingchallenge.com. realmancyclingchallenge.com. Well, old guys like me will struggle around, but I'm going to recruit 1 or 2 fairly quick riders, because it's going to be too quick for me to do the whole thing. Just one session. The 4 riders take it in turns to ride the course. Thank goodness it's flat, by the way, down at the Excel Centre in London's Docklands. And there's a lot of thundering down here. Certainly, hello, it looks like Escatel had taken over the charge on the front.
Yeah. It's just look to go that Trofimov has been caught by Fofonov and Van der Walle, so we've got 3 riders in the lead again. But just clarifying that King of the Mountains, Pierre Roland and Trofimov are equal on points, but it will go to Roland. I've just checked the regulations that it goes in the rider who's had the most first positions in the highest category climbs, in which case there's only really 1 whole category climb, and Roland went over that first, so by that he actually takes the overall King of the Mountains.
Right, but Trofimov has had the joy then of actually winning a stage. Will he win another one? I suppose that whilst King of the Mountains is what's going on now, that's the big thing is winning stages, isn't it? So, and Roland, well, shuffling of the pack back there. Interesting again as to why we've got Escatel taking up the lead.
Peloton 10 kilometres to go.
And it's about 10 minutes, isn't it, when they're coming down here?
Yeah.
So
probably puts the leaders at about 6 kilometres to go, I would think.
This is great, isn't it? Whoa, in you go, touch the brakes. Don't grab them too hard.
It is a good descent, this one. It's not particularly lots of switchbacks. It's pretty much a full flat-out sort of descent.
Oh, I've been down this one in the past as well.
Yeah, no need to touch the brakes too often on this descent.
It's a good one. No, not on a bike, but in the car on the tour. I remember coming down here. This is great. I'm just fascinated. Hope you feel back at home, by the way. There's no sense us rabbiting on with commentators, by the way. Just sitting and just flavour the moment of this lot coming down here. It's quite remarkable. Lads on bikes here, bombing down here, great flavour, doing something like about 45 miles, 50 miles an hour. Absolutely flat out.
Pretty much in the outskirts and the streets of Grenoble.
Yeah. Been through a few times, haven't we?
We'll probably see a little bit of cat and mouse between these 3. I think they've got enough time over the chasing group to
They're coming quick behind, though, aren't they? What, 1 minute? Was it a minute?
Well, there was about a minute or so to the next group, but they've got certainly got plenty in hand over the peloton.
So come on, Graham. Who's going to get this one?
Probably out of the 3, I'd have to put my money on the Belgian, I would think.
What, big, tall guy, got plenty of ability and legs to do it?
Probably maybe a little bit more craft as well.
Right. Oh, yes, the Belgians are good at that, aren't they?
That's assuming he has got the legs to do it. I mean, he can have all the craft in the world, but it doesn't help if he hasn't got the legs.
Why are they going? Well, they're going quickly anyway, aren't they? But shuffling in the pack when they come to the back.
Is it just a matter of coming down just out of trouble?
I think so, yeah. There's no.
They're going to close the gap.
They're
now,
not going. They're not going flat out. They're
No.
just taking the descent as in their stride, really, just to get to the finish.
Well, the shortest stage today, 80 miles, actually 128 kilometres on this is stage 7 of the Critérium du Dauphiné Libéré, Saint-Jean-de-Maurienne to Grenoble. That's well, they started this morning. They're going down to finish in Grenoble. They've been over 3 climbs a day. We've just switched on here, and the early breakaway group, some 20 riders or so, got fragmented now with 5Ks to go. The peloton back at 3:17, so there's no doubt about it that these 3 riders are going to survive, aren't they? And the yellow jersey is moving forward to keep out of trouble. Well, Valverde making sure that he doesn't get brought down, I think, by anybody else. Back to the main peloton. Yellow jersey moving up to 3rd spot. Where's Evans and Valverde?
I think Evans is just behind Valverde.
Oh yes, I see Evans there. Can't see Lifetime at the moment. He's got the green jersey, hasn't he, on the King of the Mountains, but he'll be thereabouts, because he's a diddly guy and you can't always see him where he is. So has Valverde taken over it just because he's the boss, or they said, well, no, let him go out there and we'll follow him down, rather than keeping out of trouble now. I can't see the green jersey. Where's? Oh, there he is. There he is. I'm sure that's him there. Yeah.
Just behind the Muscatel rider.
So he hasn't come off. Still AG2. Perhaps there's something going on in which we know not of, isn't there? That's why AG2 are working their socks off, these guys. I don't know whether I must try and check back to see whether AG2 got his headquarters here in Grenoble. I don't know, but there's some reason they're prepared to have a bit of a go today. And unless they've got some sort of private race going on amongst the French, they're not thinking about it at all. That motorcycle Cameron whizzing down the road again at something like about 50 miles an hour. Good job they don't have speed traps, by the way, in France. Because the other day with the time trial, they broke the speed record, didn't they? With 30-something miles an hour with it. Now, why are they prepared still to keep going if they've got that bit of a gap? Well, I
think maybe there are still riders in between the peloton.
Oh, could be coming back,
group of 3. We've still got riders such as Rigi, Riblon, Cazar, Wagelius and Roland in between. So whether they can see them approaching, then that's probably why they're a little bit anxious. In fact, I think that might be them just behind there, maybe 200 metres behind. So they can't afford to look at each other and play cat and mouse too much. Oh.
So our camera goes back to the main peloton and then back to our leading 3, but we're not getting information on our headphone thing about who's lodged in between. So I think the interest obviously to make sure that we pick up the picture in the yellow jersey, to make sure there, Valverde, Evans in 2nd spot, Leifheimer come down well. I think the Rabank rider Gasink, who was 4th this morning, I think he's still sat in there too. I've seen their colours. Now they're beginning to have a little chat, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're just talking to each other just to say, come on boys, we're not put all this effort in to get caught now, so let's keep it going and you know, contest the sprint or the stage win, you know, right at the end, rather than throw it all away by looking at each other.
Yeah. Isn't he? This he's always having a go. There's no doubt about it that the Bouygues Télécom rider Iouri Trofimov, he's got one stage victory on his belt, but he's prepared to drag this lot along, isn't he?
Yeah, they're working quite well. Probably the one who's doing the least work is Van der Waal at the moment. But
is that because he's a Belgian? He knows how to sit in the wheels.
Possibly.
I wouldn't say the Belgians sit in the wheels, but there again, there's a big tall guy. He doesn't get much shelter with these little guys. No, he's not. No, he's not taking it. He's not. No, so. Either he's dead or he's playing the typical Belgian tactics of playing. He thinks he's dead. He doesn't look like a sprinter to me, though. He looks like a tall, gangling lad. Perhaps he hasn't got the punch. We shall see. 2 Ks to go for the
10 seconds, you see, for those chasers. Yep. So that's why they can't hang about in front.
and 2:42 to the main pack. Doesn't matter. Yes, now then, there's concern here. And again, you see, Van der Walle is just sitting there, isn't he?
Yeah, kilometre to go.
But only 10 seconds. They can't hang about, can they? There's nothing you can do, though, is if a guy soft taps and leaves a gap, they can't sort of give him a sharp thump, can they?
Not really.
Just they get stuck in there. Although I have seen this in the past when someone's been towed all the way to the finish and then gone across and taken the victory at the end and coming down the finishing straight, the other guy shoved him into the barrier, bang! I'm not keep towing you all the way to the finish just for you to win the stage. He's a long tall, he must be over 6 foot tall.
Oh yeah, easily.
Got to be looking at that, the size of the head tube and the... oh, here we go. Right, so then... nip down the bookies now. Who are you going to go for? I think the Crédit Agricole lad, Fofonov, I think might be the stronger of the two punchy ones here. And he's in the best position, isn't he, too, in the green and white. Oh, here we go. And is the Belgian going to come through now? I think he's dead. And oh, we're not going to get too... No, it's gone to the lad from Crédit Agricole. Looks like he's got the one stitched up there. Well done there.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was great.
Good win for Fofonov.
Yep. My, they went far behind, were they? No wonder they couldn't hang about. Well, for Fofonov and Crédit Agricole, I think some recompense to the team then from Crédit Agricole, who've been out there. They were looking for an early opportunity of getting Hushvod to get a stage victory. It didn't work out. He took the yellow jersey, then he took an awful pasting when it became to the time trial and dropped out of the frame, took his yellow jersey, drifted out. But then Crédit Agricole kept going through here, and they've now got topping and tailing it somewhat. They had the yellow jersey way back in the early part of the race, but right now they've got a stage victory at the end of it all.
Yeah, and after roll on going close the other day, it's good. So the King of the Mountains also a final stage victory, so it's a good day for them.
So the French are...
Leger.
Yeah, Leger looks very happy, doesn't he? We had a chat to him the other day, didn't we? And he was mostly disappointed the way in which Hushvod didn't get his stage, but there you are. He's got something topping and tailing it nicely, hasn't it, for them?
Yeah, it's been a good week.
Yep. And for the French anyway, because is it coming in here?
Charlie as well coming in there.
Charlie's there in the green and the blue, Charlie Vegas, and the polka dot jersey. Now, let's go back to, if you don't get a chance to see it up on the screen, what's actually happening with that? He says he's got it, but
he has definitely got it.
But that's only on backtracking to...
He's backtracking to it goes on after, if you're equal on points, you look at the two riders and then see how many of the top category climbs you've won first, and then if you both, say for instance both of them had won one whole category climb, then they would then go down to the position who'd won the most first category climbs. But as there's only been one all category climb, and
he got that,
Roll on won that one, the quad fair, so he's taken the King of the Mountains. Fascinating.
Well, the green jersey in there being worn by Leifheimer, but that goes to Valverde anyway. He's going to get both of them. He's coming in here with the main pack at the moment. You can see here, no great shakes as to change the overall situation on the general classification, but they're all coming across here. Of course, the big thing in a race like this, family and friends turn up, don't they, at a race like the end of this one. So you've got to still show. You can't sort of swan in there as Valverde crosses the line in the yellow jersey to take the victory and take the yellow jersey. CSC en masse, aren't they, coming through here as well? Well, they had the victory the other day, didn't they? And so sat in there will be their rider. Roger Leger, look at this. This is great, isn't it? Chatting on the right-hand side. The hours and years. Well, you raced against him, didn't you?
I raced in the same team when I first turned pro. He was in the... He moved to the Peugeot team the same year that I turned pro, so I did a couple of years with him at Peugeot, and I think he retired after that.
He was always, a rider was there or thereabout, wasn't he? Did he win much? I can't remember winning much.
No, I can't really remember him. Can't really remember him winning much.
It sounds like we've got an interview coming up in French, so my French is worse and not very good, so we'll listen as Graham will do the translating.
Ça a été vraiment très dur et
he said it was really tough today.
Au début de l'étape, quand il y avait Trofimov devant, j'ai eu vraiment très peur.
Yeah, I really wanted to get this jersey.
Il allait falloir que je sois vraiment très
But
fort
obviously a little bit
pour
worried.
sortir du peloton des leaders et essayer d'aller grappiller des points comme ça. Et c'était vraiment pas facile et j'ai eu la chance aujourd'hui d'avoir un équipier formidable, Dmitry Fofonov, et il a été gagné l'étape et j'ai pu jouer aussi avec ça derrière pour m'économiser. C'est vraiment un super travail.
Yeah, he's just saying he's really happy to have a good teammate out there in front in Fofonov and for him to go and win the stage. So, but it was a tough day for him.
Ouais, la saison peut s'arrêter ce soir pour moi, elle est réussie. Après tout ce qui viendra par la suite de l'année, ce sera du bonus. Déjà Paris-Nice.
Yeah, so today's everything's been good so far, but the season doesn't stop here.
Pourvu que ça continue.
Hopefully it's going to continue.
Non, franchement, aucun regret pour cette année de pas faire le tour. J'ai 21 ans et si je fais une carrière comme Christophe Moreau, j'ai encore 15 tours.
Yeah, he said I'm not riding the tour this year, but have no regrets. So plenty of years to come in front of me before I ride the tour.
Seems to me that the French are beginning to develop a new set of riders. They went into a bit of a trough, didn't they?
Yeah, well, let's hope for them it's not the false dawn that we keep getting with the French riders. So they desperately need, or desperately looking for a Tour de France or a guy that can challenge for it.
It may take another couple of years, but certainly things are changing here.
Для меня победа значит разделить со зрителями мою повесть.
I swim to seek the human possibilities.
Now there are kids out there watching me.
The ultimate moment.
Panasonic brings the moment in the Olympic Games to the world. Panasonic, ideas for life.
CD cycling shoes.
Innovation, rehabilitation, protection. The only limitation is your imagination.
Prove your European football knowledge with our Euro fantasy game. Sign up for free and show off your managerial ability.
The road to Wimbledon continues with the climax of the prestigious Artois Championships. The final, tonight at 7:15 on British Eurosport.
A standing ovation here at Queen's.
Looking at the remnants of the riders coming in here, Crédit Agricole have got another scalp under their belt today, but certainly the yellow jersey is going, you see there on your screen there, to Valverde for the riders here from the Castepan, and some of their riders just come across the line. They did a lot of work there today to defend that yellow jersey. No great change overall from what has happened in the last couple of days. So Kaleb's in second spot and Leipheimer into third. Bit of a jump back to Geesing. There's a new kid on the block, by the way, for Rabobank, doing a great ride. Zabilde, he moved up again yesterday. Dessel, as far as the French are concerned, nice ride a bit into sixth spot. Look at the different colours of the flags down the left-hand side. But it does show that the Spanish are still doing rather well. They've got at least 3 Spanish riders up there in that top 10. But at the end of it all, this great race, the 60th Critérium du Dauphiné, the French have something to cheer in the fact that Agricole got a stage victory today. But for Fofonov then from Kazakhstan. There is then the Kazakhstan rider taking the victory ahead of Van der Walle and Trofimov. They just survive 11 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack coming through. So, well, it's Crédit Agricole, but it's Kazakhstan, and there goes the bouquet of flowers. Well, we'll stick with this as long as we can do, and there are going to be a lot of celebrations right here. Often we go off air rather quickly and miss the celebration. I think we've got a few minutes here for you to savour the performances of these riders in this, the 60th Critérium du Dauphiné Libéré. Goes back right the way to 1947, it does, and at least as far as the French are concerned, they had a good victory last year in Moreau, who was not racing, not riding this year in the race. Evans, by the way, was second last year. He's still second on this particular occasion, and I'm not quite sure, Graham, as to whether they say that the Critérium du Dauphiné, at the end of it all, what was going to happen in the Tour de France. As far as he's concerned, I don't think this lad might be in the Tour de France, but going for the overall classification, we come to the yellow jersey. Valverde must be pleased with what happened so far. But we'll chat about that now because we might go off a bit quickly.
Yeah, Valverde, no, I think it's correct. I think probably the first two on this race may well be the first two in the Tour. I think there's a pretty good chance for that, and it may well be that the battle renewed on the Tour in the Pyrenees and the Alps, and also the time trials, of course. But whether it finishes this way around or not, it remains to be seen. It's 3.5 weeks of racing compared to 8 days. Is another kettle of fish altogether.
Right. So, and there again, another kettle of fish here with the Kazakhstan rider and Roger Jay saying, "Well done."
Aura été présent chaque jour. Il obtient 2 victoires d'étape. La première à Vienne,
so,
la deuxième dans le contre-la-montre.
Grenoble right down in the valley there with some lovely descents coming into this.
La Bastille.
Oh, yeah.
Finished on stage on there once.
Did
time
it? No.
trial, yeah, time trial up that. It's
good Lord.
It was a famous. I think it was 1978, but the famous actually won a stage there by walking part of the climb. He'd been away. He was away early on. Fell on. I think it was. I'm not sure whether it was the Grenier, called the Grenier. He fell on the descent. He got back on his bike, went on to finish, but I think he was that spent at the end. He actually ended up walking. It's so steep. It's like 1 in 3 on the hairpin bends. It's a ridiculous climb.
Yeah. We don't have them like that now, do we? Because of the need to put television cameras up there, machine, all the production units and everything else. We can't always get the.
The infrastructure and stuff, yeah.
No, you can't. Right, yellow jersey coming up here. The same thing with, what's the big climb that we used to have many years gone by?
Puy de Dôme?
Puy de Dôme, that's right. Yeah. They can't use that any longer because they just can't get the vehicles up there. But they are saying now they're going to do it, but put the vehicles down the bottom and find ways, technology, so that they can transmit the pictures. Well, there we are. Agricole got plenty to applaud here, sponsoring the main park of this race, and now they've got here the man there in the yellow jersey, Valverde, taking the first position. And well, he moved into that leader's jersey and he defended all the way through, and I think he showed that he's dead keen to take that jersey way back, and his team worked extremely hard, because after the yellow jersey went to Hushford in the early part of the race way back on after stage 2, we moved on to stage 3. Valverde it was that took that yellow jersey out of Leipzig and Evans, and they shuttled the pack a bit after that, but certainly he defended it together with his team to run in towards Grenoble to win the 60th Critérium du Dauphiné Libéré. Then Valverde, the winner of this 60th Critérium du Dauphiné.
Sí, creo que sí. Muy contento. Hay que dar las gracias al equipo, que creo que ha trabajado fenomenal. Hoy ha sido un gran día también para el equipo porque han estado muy fuertes. Y bueno, contentos.
Well, he's actually thanking his team, saying they're very strong and he's very happy with the performance. He's saying, have you got the confidence now for the tour? Yes. Yeah, I have the confidence. Well, there we are. I think so. That's giving him a certain amount of confidence going into the tour. Got a couple of weeks now to recover, relax, and I'm saying relax. What we do now? You got to ride some of the climbs and do some training.
I would think, yeah, it'd have a few days sort of recovery now, and then we'll probably go and have a look at the stages in the Pyrenees and just build himself up for the tour now. But he certainly didn't look too tired there anyway.
Did he?
Just as fresh as a daisy. So
and his team rode well too, didn't they? I mean, although one lad dropped out the back earlier on today, they still had enough strong riders there to keep them going. And so Well, Adams, I think, were a bit disappointed. He finished second last year, didn't he? And he finished second in the Tour de France, so he's got to finish second again this year. I've actually got him down to be second again in the Tour de France. I'm sorry about that, Cadell, if I've bumped into you, but I've not got him down to win. I've got Cunego down to win, and then Evans and Kirk in the third spot, or who else I got? Anyway, that's my selection. I don't know whether you think that's right or wrong, but that's my selection. So they are. They're looking back at the result of the stage today. Shuffling the pack there for the Kingdom Manners jersey as well. Charlie Vegas, nice little 8th spot as far as he's concerned, given a bit of freedom, I think, with Rickwigas' team. I'm a bit disappointed, by the way, that it seems that the Lamprey team sort of knocked it on the head. I think, well, Riggy there finished into 6th spot, but certainly I think most of their riders retired and went home rather early. So somebody will be a bit upset with, I think. The Lamprey didn't do, I think, maybe they were sick. I haven't found out yet whether they've suffered some illness or something, but they were, I think, abandoning their riders left, right and centre. And Schmidt finished up in 8th spot, I think, the Polish rider.
So, nice day for him, Pierre Roland, 21 years old.
Yeah, another young rider on screen.
Hopefully a big future ahead for him.
Yeah. Oh, there goes Daniel Monjas in the back row, winding that one up, doesn't it? Typical Daniel in full flight. Did a great ride, didn't he, up that big mountain. And he's not your average sort of little diddy mountain climber. He's a bit of a gangly lad, but he certainly survived.
Thierry Cazeneuve on the left is actually the organiser of the Dauphiné.
Yeah.
Et sûrement qu'il reviendra sur le podium du Critérium du Dauphiné Libéré. Bravo à ce tout jeune athlète.
We're letting Daniel Monjas in the background, by the way, if you can hear it back at home with the sound, because it's a French race, a great French race, and it's very much a local French thing, isn't it, as well? You saw there the organiser from the event. It's been a family event over the years. This is typical of France, isn't it? They're able to run these races, aren't they, year in, year out?
Yeah, until sort of like the expansion of ASO, a lot of these races, you know, have been sort of traditionally held in sort of families, sort of, which is sponsored. A lot of them are sponsored by regional newspapers, and that's where a lot of them get the names from. But quite often it's been a little family that
Paris-Nice was playing that, for many years.
The Lelio family, yeah, and also they had the Grand Prix de France. Yeah, it's the Grand Prix Combativity Award for today.
He had a go, didn't he? And to come back and survive, having had a bad day in the office yesterday. Now then.
Venu de Russie, salue le public grenoblois, il reviendra, il vient de 1000 km au nord de Moscou, on rappellera qu'il s'est distingué en étant champion d'Europe et champion du monde junior de VTT, vainqueur cette année.
Well, an ex-mountain biker then turning into the...
Deuxième au classement des meilleurs grimpeurs.
I think we're going to see more of him again in the future, don't you? Hey, another kid on the block. I've enjoyed this race, by the way.
Yeah, it's been so nice to see some new names coming through.
Over the years, you know, I've been involved with television and radio coverage of cycling, and it's been almost predictable, hasn't it? But now I think we've seen something quite different, haven't we, today?
Yeah, and I think cycling does need that this new generation as well, and this sort of needs freshening up a bit, the cycling scene. So it's really nice to see.
Oh, we hope there's enough people out there with sponsorship money to keep running the races, because it's quite an expensive thing, isn't it, to put on a bike race? But there again, this race, it hasn't got a thumping great prize list, have they? They ride it for the prestige, I suppose, the whole thing, don't they? And it's a well-run race, and as far as the rider concerned, the one thing about the whole race, it's not, I won't say not difficult, it has a nice form about it, doesn't it? To come and ride this race, the people know what they're going, the hotels are nice, so reaction of the public is great. There's good atmosphere, isn't there?
Yeah, to be honest, most of these riders, they probably don't even look at the prize list when they come to the race. They're assigned to ride a certain race or certain race races, you know, because of the team has to ride them with the Pro Tour events, but they go there because they have to. The prize money actually becomes secondary, really. You know, nobody's going to say, oh, I'm not going to that because the prize money is, you know, is no good. I mean, this race, there are minimum prize regulations for each category of race, and providing those are adhered to, then you know, the race can be put on.
Not a lot of money in this race, is there?
No, I think it's only about £4,000, £5,000 overall first prize. So
yeah, and of course then you have to share it amongst your team, don't you?
Of course, yeah.
And yeah. So that's it. Then they ride here, and they don't tend to enjoy the countryside, by the way, because they're riding up and down the roads, and then perhaps later on at night they can look back and see the coverage on TV and see where they've actually come through. But it's not that easy. As Leipheimer coming forward here in his highly decorative jersey, wearing that one as the third place, but also the American champion. And then Evans coming up here, Evans finishing second for the second year and Trop. But the man who comes up here to take the top spot then, Valverde from Spain, the rider from the Castepania. Well, we're going to see all these, well, only two of these three, because Leipheimer with the Astana team won't be in the Tour de France, will they?
No.
At the moment, they've been excluded for various reasons, that I think more politics than anything else, and the politics are raging, and those who will follow it, what's happening between the ASO and the UCI is quite unique. But those who don't understand the politics, and I don't either, just stay with us and come back for the Tour de France on the 5th of July. I'm David Duffy. Look forward to company then. Graham Jones, thanks for your help, Graham. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have too back at home. Bye-bye.